Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hello. So you guys asked for a cooking show. So we are doing a cooking show because our cookbooks are 35% off. Yes, we are having a massive cookbook sale right now, guys. So grab your cookbooks before next Tuesday. Now, these recipes today are in our Dining on a Dime cookbooks. Volume 1. And do you have your glasses to read?
I think I can read them.
All right. So I'm going to start cooking first, but Day and Dime Cookbook Volume 1. So we have the recipes here. And then if you go over here, we have, let me find the right page, the leftover index. And then you can go here and find apple uses. So apples. Juice, sauce, and
if you have these leftovers, like you have leftover apple juice, just like a cup, it tells you what recipe to use it up.
So we're going to start with apple crisp on what page? I do not know because I forgot to look it up. Apple crisp on page 367. Okay, so apple crisp on page 367. And I forgot I was going to do baked apples right there. Okay. Oh, and there's the pan I was looking for. Oh, well. Okay. So, first of all, now, Mom's going to show you if we got more free apples. So, I got 4 more bags like this. But that's okay because we love dried apples, so we're drying them. So, Mom's going to show you here how to use the apple slicer core. There's 2 apple slicer cores. There's this kind here that peels them. This is the peeler slicer and core. And this is just the core and slicer, okay? Now, what you do is you put it on the little thing there, smash it on, and then you can see, now
it's not working on this table, guys.
It works on a countertop. Because we have this funky table, it's hard to show, but
this works slicker than snot.
And how slick is snot, Mother? That's
slick.
What we want to
That's
know.
My grandkids. And then I just cut them. I either cut them in half or I will just cut them like this and dump them. I think I showed you before, dump them in salted water.
For dehydrating. But we're using them for apple crisp today. And don't forget to save these, and you can eat these, or you can dry them, or use them for potpourri.
And this thing, when it's hooked onto the table right, works really, really, really good. Yeah. So,
all right. Now, the other way you can do it, if you don't mind the peel, right there.
Tara loves this.
And there you go. Now, guys, be careful. You will cut your fingers off if you're not careful.
Yeah.
So make sure your fingers are gone. Are not gone. Make sure your fingers are not gone. So then it just slices it all up just like that. And then you just throw it in there, okay? Now, I like this. To me, it just goes a little bit quicker, and I don't mind the peel myself. But
this works good too for if you're cutting up apples for snacks for the kids and things like that, from school.
And then for your apple crisp, you're just going to put a layer of apples, just like so, okay? So you've got your layer of apples. Looks like we're having lighting issues. Okay, so I hope you guys can see this. Apparently, we don't have the setup we thought we did. Okay, so do we need a new camera? Is that what you're saying? You must be saying that. Okay, so then you're going to take your flour and your oatmeal and your cinnamon. And you're going to take your softened butter or margarine, and you're going to put it all in there, and then you're going to put it on top of your apples. I forgot to bring the butter over to the
You know
studio.
what? You can just pour that on and then put the chunks of butter on top.
Yeah, you can do it later. So then when you pour it on, you just make it even. Okay, just like so. And da, 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 da. And then you take a quarter of a cup of water and pour it over top, and then you bake it. Okay.
Now, look how long that took her. It, just a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
These things go faster than you think. They really do.
Yeah.
And
They
you
go
have
pretty quick.
homemade apple crisp.
Just a moment. We have an emergency. The chicken is done. But I
The
think
chicken's done. That's emergency, huh?
But I think you were going to go eat at youth group, weren't you?
Oh, I was.
Yes.
Well, you could eat twice, Jack.
So
You
can
can
eat
handle
twice
it.
if you want. Okay, now here's the apple muffins right here. This is our gifts in a jar recipe, and I just chop up apples and add them in there. The recipe doesn't call for chopped apples, but I do because I like the taste and the flavor of chopped apples.
And we've got a lot of gifts in the jar.
In the book.
Recipes
We have a
in
whole
the book.
chapter. on
Yeah, a whole
gifts in the jar.
chapter on gifts in the jar.
Then the next recipe is the cream cheese dip. What do you call this? I don't know.
Yeah.
Apple dip, I guess. And you take your small bottle of vanilla here.
Good thing I'm not a drinking woman. I would be drunk before the show.
Why do you think I have this bottle of
Oh,
vanilla?
because you got Michael and
Exactly.
the boys.
That's exactly why I do. Speaking of which, I need to go get more. It's almost done. And then you're going to put in your brown sugar.
And you can sweeten this to taste. Put
Yeah.
however much brown sugar you want in there.
Obviously, we like a lot.
And I do nuke mine in the microwave for just a second
I had it sitting next to the stove. I thought it was going to be soft enough.
to make it easier to stir up.
Okay, let me microwave it just a second.
Oh, we've got a microwave in here. Wow.
And we have no microwave tray.
It's in the sink.
Okay. You can see cooking shows are going to be a thing of the past. And
We only have the studio half together, huh?
now I'm shedding.
Now,
This is just so yummy.
goodness, we're live.
Okay. I told you guys I was having a shedding issue.
Oh.
Just adds extra what? Protein? Collagen? I don't know.
Now, this is really good for parties of any sort, around Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. And what else is good for? Should I talk about the snacks now? Is that okay? The apple snacks?
Yes.
Oh, you want them to look at me while I'm doing it?
Wow, we are really blown
Yeah,
out.
we are.
Is there something we can do to adjust the lights, Mike?
Should I sit down?
Okay, so we'll sit down here. Hold on. Let's see if that'll do something. The lights are really bad today for some reason.
They've had trouble with the website and a whole bunch of things today.
We got locked out of our own website today.
Yeah,
We still
it's
can't
just-
get in.
Yeah, it's been a run.
So
But this is really good for a dip for, like I said, the different parties and stuff. And another thing that you can use for a dip is after Halloween, go buy caramels that are on sale for half price and just put them in a bowl with if you use a whole bag, you put in about 2 to 3 tablespoons of water and melt it and make like a caramel sauce. And then you can dip your apples in that. Now, for any of these snacks, take the apples and you can slice them ahead of time. You can even do them the next day, but just drop them in a bowl of water. Oh, if you have like a quart of water, 4 cups of water, you can put like a teaspoon, 1 to 2 teaspoons of salt. It doesn't have to be exact, and just dissolve it in the water and dip the, stir it around, then throw the apples in there. They don't have to sit in there or anything. You just throw them in and let them get coated in the water, and then they won't turn brown on you. And so you can do that up ahead of time.
there's the
And
apple dip.
You can do that with the
Right there.
caramels when you melt them. You can do them with this dip. This is good to send with the kids in their lunch to get them to eat an apple at school. They might eat that, more so with the dip, or even a snack when they come home for lunch. Another good apple snack for kids when they come home from school is to put peanut butter and cut them up for them. Especially if they're in elementary school, for some reason, kids will eat the cut fruit more so than if you just put an apple in there. And if you cut it up and have it a dip like this, then they'll eat it more likely. And you got the email that I showed you about how much people are spending for school lunches now.
Yeah.
People, that's an expense. I don't think people realize how much they're spending to add to their debt for school lunches.
Here, hand me my computer and we can read it.
When you can,
Thank you.
I think it was $2.50 per child, which if you have 2 kids, that's $5 a week, $25,
$5 a day.
$5 a day, $25 a week. And so that's $100 a month just for school lunches. And you can make something like this so much less expensive.
Okay, here we go. $2.50 to $3 per kid. $50 a month. $100 for 2 kids, $200 for 4 kids, compared to 75 cents if you take your lunch, which is $60 for 4 kids. So $200 compared to $60, and then you wonder why you have no money.
Yeah, yeah, and that's one of those ways that you can save and to help yourself get out of debt is doing, packing the lunches. So cut the apples up for them and put them in that salt water the night before. I mean, just dip them in the salt water, and then you can put them in the baggie. And they're ready for the lunch the next morning to do that.
Yep.
So
show them the cookbook real quick. So we're going to read some of the recipes that we use all these apples for. So now, first of all, applesauce. You can see my applesauce here that's already frozen. So I use the recipe Dining on a Dime cookbook right here, volume 1. 35% off everything right now, guys. We're having a sale. We're having a sale. We're having a here, my own little jingle. We're having a sale. They're going in the mail before they go on the rail. And then they land in your mailbox.
no, that doesn't work.
Oh. 35% off everything right now, guys. But here's the apple recipes in the book.
Well, here's a couple on the next page. Should I show those?
Yep.
It's baked apples and fried apples. I don't know if you could see them, but what are you laughing at?
I just saw what Michael did on the title for the show.
Oh,
Sorry.
But baked apples are so easy to make. You just take the core out. You put a little bit of brown sugar, a couple tablespoons of brown sugar in the center, a chunk of butter, a little bit of cinnamon, and throw them in the oven to bake. We'll put them in a pan and then throw them in the oven to bake them. But the thing is, those are really good to make. The baked apples is if you're going to roast a chicken or have a pork roast or something in there, put a pan of baked apples in. When you're using that oven this winter, don't just roast the chicken and that's it. Make your menu around oven things because you can put the baked apples. You could put baked potatoes in, throw those in.
The apple butter. We've got the apple muffins, the apple bread, the apple cake, all of those.
Yeah, I was going to say you could put the muffins in, put some kind of muffin in for the dinner. So you could do 3 or 4 things in the oven, and that'll help with it really does warm the house up nice and make it toasty. Plus, it smells good when the family comes home. It really makes a difference when they come home and can smell some of those things.
Oh, and the Lunchables. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Elaine says, I work for Walmart. You won't believe how many people buy 20 Lunchables every week.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
What a waste of money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what a waste of money.
Yeah.
And then these moms have to work
to pay for the
sorry.
school lunches.
A little pet peeve there.
But kids don't need that much in their lunch, especially elementary school kids. I wouldn't put more than 2 things, maybe 3 at the most, just simple things. And it doesn't take that much. Fried apples. Fried apples are good too. If you're wanting to impress somebody with the house smelling good, do up some fried apples. That's where this hair cutter thing comes in really good, is for fried apples, because you can slice them up, throw them in the pan with, once again, a little bit of, I use margarine because butter tends to burn when you fry the apples. Yeah. And so margarine. If
you want the flavor of butter, use the margarine to cook them and then just add a little butter at the end after you're done.
Yeah.
Flavor.
And so you just cook those with brown sugar and the vanilla and that type of thing. Did you want more recipes?
If you want. Okay, so that's our show.
No, we got more.
Well, so here's the thing, guys. This is so quick.
Yeah, these are all really easy.
that's the whole point. People make cooking way too complicated.
Yeah.
So go ahead and tell them a few more of the
Well, we've covered quite a few. We've got the baked apples, apple bread, apple butter. With the apple butter, what's really good about the apple butter is I'll dehydrate these apples. And then, in the winter, when you're not it's not so hot and you're not so worn out, you can pull some of the apples out, the dehydrated apples, and make apple butter out of them.
Apple pies. We use dehydrated apples for the apple
Yeah.
pie.
Oh my goodness. You've heard me talk about this before. I used to read about this in books all the time, dried apple pies, how delicious they were. And I thought that would be nasty. And I fixed one. I think there's just nothing like them.
Well,
I think
it's because
the sugar gets more intense when you dehydrate them. And oh my goodness, dried apple pies are so good. Of course, apple crisp, apple crumbs. We did the fried apples, oatmeal bars, apple oatmeal bars. And here's another one. I think this recipe's maybe in dining too, is grandma's fruit salad.
35% off right now.
You guys don't need to buy these expensive fruits, and vegetables. You don't need to buy the really expensive type things to make fancy shakes and smoothies and stuff like that. A good old apple is one of the more expensive or least expensive fruits you can buy. And you can do a lot of things. And this fruit salad is so good. You just chop up the apples and then you throw in a can of mandarin oranges and add a slice of banana. We add grapes sometimes to ours, sprinkle some nuts and add whipped cream and sprinkle a little bit of sugar and whipped cream and then mix it with whipped cream. Best fruit salad ever. And it's something different to go than just the regular, tossed salad and that type of thing. So, we even have apple syrup in here. I didn't know we had apple syrup in here.
I forgot.
Yes. Oh, and the pie filling, the apple pie filling.
I forgot the sugar
in what?
In the apple crisp. Oh my goodness. Yes, mommy of 6. I did forget it. Oh my goodness. This is why I don't do cooking anymore.
Yeah, it's hard to talk.
Well, we're having a problem because we have to bring everything from the house over to the studio. We thought the studio would make life easier, and honestly, it's just complicated things. So, yeah, I forgot half the things to bring.
It's like moving into a new house, trying to get adjusted to what's going to work, where and how and everything. So, but what was I saying? I forget.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, that's fine. I just can't remember what I was talking about. But, apples are really good for you too. So I, get them. They're going on sale. Why we're doing the apples right now, of course, is because they are on sale for a lot of places.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
And we just have a lot of apples.
I know. I'm going to be busy.
So we got some apples from a friend, and then I saw some more on Facebook, and I wasn't going to get them because I fell filming a video that's coming up probably next week. I fell doing the washing without electricity video. So I hurt my arm and my back, so I couldn't go pick the apples. Well, somebody had already picked them all. They had buckets and buckets of picked apples. Said anybody, well, I was like, well, if they're already picked. So I wasn't going to get them. Mm-hmm. I was not going to get them. Mm-hmm. But then a friend of ours said, oh, do you need any apples? I'm like, okay, Lord, I will take the apples. So she was going to go get them, and then she couldn't go get them, and I happened to be on that side of town. So I said, I'll go get them. So we got the apples. And
she showed up on my doorstep carrying bags of apples after I just got through dehydrating a bunch of them.
Yeah, so now we're dehydrating even more. I like dehydrated apples the best myself.
I do too. I like their flavor. But, thank you guys who do the gardening and have these apple trees and stuff for sharing them. That really, really helps a lot of people out. And we do appreciate you guys because we know how much work goes into even just picking these things, let alone growing some of the stuff. So thank you for being so generous, all you apple people and gardening people, because we really do appreciate it. So.
Yeah.
And that's one thing nice, guys. Share the things you have with each other. Even though we get apples, we need to share some of our stuff, whether it's our help or, and helping people move or do different things like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everybody needs to just kind of share what you've got.
What can I share that I have?
Well, you do your garden. You do all your food that you cook. You share everything.
Actually, I share a lot of food.
Tara shares.
I share a lot of food with
I
a
was
lot of
thinking that
people.
the other day when we were doing the garage sale thing, and Tara was teasing me about not letting me have some of the stuff from the garage sale.
Oh my
You
goodness,
guys-
I got so much flack
I
for that.
imagine you did. I know. That's why I was going to say. I thought.
Okay.
I bet you.
We're sitting the record straight.
No, I'm going to set the record straight. I have two of the most generous kids in the whole wide world.
And she already has a cart.
And they would give me the shirt off their back. I mean, I have
Yes.
to be careful about what I even say that I want for something, because one or the other of them would get it for me immediately and give it to me. They bend over backwards. They not just with me, but with other people. They give.
Yes.
I don't know how they turn out like that,
Yes.
but they're so sweet. My son and daughter, and even my son-in-law and daughter-in-law are really, really super generous, and
Yeah.
kind like that. And so we joke around a lot and tease about it. The garage sales over this stuff. If I really needed that and wanted that, Tara would have given it to me.
But she already has a cart.
But I had a cart.
I didn't have a cart. So
Of
my
course, I didn't have one just like that. Now that we mention it, but
you're not taking my cart. I saw it the night
No.
before. You weren't even gonna go to garage sales.
So you deserve
I was
it.
gonna go by myself to the garage sale. Yeah.
I know. See, we tease each other like this. And like I said, they would give me everything. Even like my son, when I moved here, the day I moved, I had to unload all this stuff that was really important to me and leave it in Kansas. And it was just a bunch of crazy stuff. It wasn't worth mailing to me really or anything. And right after I got here, boxes started arriving, and my son had bought brand new stuff of a lot of the things for me and sent me things that, and Tara does the exact same thing. She's forever given something to somebody all the time.
So Mike, come here a second. You got to have, okay, so I'm going to show you guys what we got. So first of all, I have no idea why there is a pillow
on top of
sitting over there,
kitchen
but
cabinet.
move the pillow and turn the camera so they can see my food thing.
Move the pillow first.
Doesn't matter either way.
I was
But,
sitting
so
on that
everybody
They
was
pillow.
should
saying-
see the pillow so they should understand.
I
that
was
you're-
sitting on that
Why
pillow.
there's a Oh, you were sitting on the
I
pillow.
was
Okay.
sitting on the pillow
I'm like,
before I
why
got
is
my
there
new
a pillow
chair.
in the food? Can you just turn it? Will it work?
Just the whole arm.
I mean, we can do this.
So,
but,
yeah.
but it's pulling all the cables.
Oh,
on, they can
the
take it
top
off.
won't just. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to be such a to-do. Okay, so see my whole cabinet there? I have a whole cabinet full of food that I've been trying to stock for the shows and stuff. See those chocolate candy bars? They were $1 on clearance at Walmart up there.
Oh,
Look
I
at
missed. I
those.
didn't see those.
Do you see those? $1.
I didn't see
Okay,
that.
you can come back, dear.
Look what Mike sees.
What does Mike see? Oh, yes.
I think this is production crew snacks.
You think it's production crew snacks, huh?
Yeah.
So I was trying to get stuff over here,
Good
but
down.
now we're crooked. Okay. Let's see, go towards mom a little bit more. There you go. Where did I get the huge vanilla? This is my homemade vanilla. So the recipes in are Dining on a Dime Cookbook Volume 1. 35% off right now for our sale, guys. We're having
Yeah,
a
we do have the
huge
recipe in
sale.
here for vanilla. And,
And
I've said it several times, if you can't find vanilla at the store, we've got the recipe for it in
Yep.
here, and a lot of other things like that people are starting to have trouble finding, we have it in dining. So.
Yeah. So I just got a cheap bottle of vodka, put some vanilla beans in it, and I just let it soak. And so now I'm going to get another cheap bottle of vodka, probably tonight after the show, the way today's going.
Okay.
And I'm going to drink off this much
Yeah, right.
and then fill the bottle with the rest. And then you just let it sit for 6. Now I won't have to let this sit for 6 weeks because the beans are already soaked. So the flavor already started getting mixed. But if you, oops. Oh dear, that was a precious drop of vanilla. If you're doing new, you want the vanilla beans to sit for 6 weeks, and just slice the vanilla beans down the center and drop them in there.
Okay, I got to tell you guys, some of you older ones have heard this story before, but we've got new people on here. When Tara was expecting with her first baby,
I was writing the cookbook.
yeah, and so she was she was going to try to make the vanilla and everything like that with the vodka, and she is like 8 months, 9 months pregnant, and she goes into the liquor store. I wouldn't go in. I've never been into a liquor store. I wouldn't even know what to do in a liquor store. And she said, I'll go into the liquor store. And here she is, bigger than sticking out here. And she goes in and says, I need a bottle of really cheap vodka, please. She's just as pregnant as could be. And she's asking for her vodka. She needed that vodka.
Yeah, I did. So Lori says, do we have any gluten-free cookbooks? Yep, right here. 35% off right now. Michael put the link in, and it is all the recipes from our Dining on a Dime cookbook turned into gluten-free, dairy-free. And if you see, I did a shorts video like 4 or 5 days ago showing the sandwich bread. Oh my goodness, it was so delicious. It's like, it even beats store-bought gluten-free bread. I'm not kidding. It is soft and fluffy and absolutely delicious. So, yeah, the boys like it better than regular
I did
bread.
get a question this week on that, that the gal was having trouble with it, being soft and fluffy. Like, you have to really, really mix it good.
So I had another lady, I don't know if it was the same one, but I had another lady say the same thing, and she's made like 3 loaves and they're all turning out like rocks. And I was like, was your yeast good? Yeah. Was your baking powder good? Yeah. Okay. Did you make sure you let it rise? Yeah. Okay. So then the only other thing left, if your yeast is fresh and your baking powder is fresh, is your oven temperature wasn't right, or you did not beat it enough. Now, when you do gluten-free baking, okay, whenever you do gluten-free baking is not like regular baking. With gluten-free baking, you have to thoroughly mix stuff. Thoroughly. So like with regular biscuits, you don't want to overmix them because they'll get tough. But with gluten-free baking, you have to mix thoroughly all of your doughs, or they're not going to turn out. Why? Because the moisture has to get absorbed by all of the flour. And if you don't, it's going to be gritty and it won't rise. Okay. So those are probably, I'm finding out that's the problem that people keep having, is they're not mixing it enough.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you mix it enough.
And on regular bread too, the yeast bread, regular white yeast bread, you need to knead it really well too. The better, harder, and the stronger you knead the bread, there's a reason it says 20 minutes of kneading. And I used to have my husband come in. I finally discovered this when he would come in and just play with the dough. If he'd see it laying there on the table, getting ready to knead, and he would beat on it and mess with it. And those loaves were always way lighter and fluffier and better. And it dawned on me, he was stronger and kneading that dough harder for me than what I was doing. And so you need to really knead that bread good.
So Becky wants to know, does gluten-free bread freeze well? Yes. So just slice it, make sure it's thoroughly cooled, and slice it ahead of time. I just keep mine in the fridge, and I just have 2 pieces a day usually. And that will last me about 6 or 7 days, give or take. So, yeah. Lena, I collect mammies and pappies. Watching Jill's old video, commented if she still has them available. Oh, did you get rid of all your mammies and pappies?
I wish I'd known.
A huge collection.
I gave them all away.
Yeah.
I was just sick. I had hundreds of mammy and pappy stuff. I loved them so much. They were so cute. I just loved them. But I gave them all away before I.
So Denise, I don't know what you mean. She says mine was not dry enough to knead. We mixed in the mixer and it still rose. So I don't know if you mean regular or gluten-free. If it's gluten-free bread, just add a couple of tablespoons next time, more flour. Now, I will say that altitude makes a huge difference. So when you're doing it, make sure you follow the high altitude. If you're above 3,500 feet, you got to go high altitude, okay? And it really does make a big difference on the gluten-free.
And humidity, not so
Yeah.
much on the bread, but humidity makes a lot of difference in baking and cooking
Mhm.
a lot of things. You have to take those things into consideration. Like
Yeah.
our no-bake chocolate cookies, it was hard for me to get them baked or to set up in Kansas because on a humid day and that type of thing, it made a difference. So you have to watch.
I said 6 weeks for the vanilla to get flavored, but I mean, just let it go as long as you want. I just leave the beans in there and I'll refill this probably 3 times, maybe 4. Just when it starts getting lighter in color.
I was just thinking about Grandma Cooper and how much she loved her Watkins cough syrup.
So my very Baptist grandmother. So those of you who don't know, it is a sin for Baptists to drink. And my very Baptist grandmother really loved her Watkins cough syrup that was
She
like
just
80% alcohol. She
I
swore
think
by
it was
it.
90%.
It's like, yeah, it worked because it knocked you out for being drunk. So
We used to laugh.
Jenny's farm says she saw lots of cute Christmas gnomes.
Oh,
what
I
Family
know.
Dollar-
I saw some
or,
at
Dollar Tree?
Walmart.
We're going to we have
going-
to drive to Dollar Tree now. Our Dollar Tree here is closed.
So we're making
So we
a
have to drive
trip
20
there
minutes
tomorrow.
to do that. But speaking of which, okay, get questions, guys. Do questions, and we're gonna do this real quick here. Put questions, the questions in there, and Mike will grab them real quick. But we got behind in our mail because we were gone. But
These are
thank you,
so
JP.
cute.
She made us these little like makeup type bags. I'm gonna throw that in my purse. Thank
They're
you so much.
adorable.
She handmade those. Aren't those cute?
And as much
Thank
as
you,
we
thank you.
go,
And then
thank you.
I got. Let's see. This was from Nancy. I wanted to make sure. I thought it was
Perfect
Nancy,
colors
but
too. Perfect colors.
Nancy found.
Oh
Speaking
my
of gnomes,
goodness.
she found these
Look at
for me.
Those are cute.
Are these not the cutest little guys? Oh, thank you, Nancy.
Those are
so
really cute. I don't think you've got a purple one, do you?
I don't. Well,
Or do you?
no, I don't. No, I don't think I do. No, it
Not
was
that
a
much
green
purple.
one. Oh,
Oh, here, let me do it for you. She hurt her arm when we did when she
Yeah.
fell, and she's having trouble.
Thank you. Mary wanted to make sure we had a little bit of
Whoa.
tea.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
Here's what's hilarious about the tea that Mary sent. I'm almost out of my English tea.
I know. I was here, what was it, last weekend, and I said, can I have one of your good tea bags? Because she was almost out.
And
then-
when we were in Colorado 2 weeks ago, I forgot to go to the
To get it.
World Market to get it.
Mm-hmm.
I was so sad.
So that is just, couldn't be more perfect. Just couldn't
So thank you.
be.
And
Oh,
then
look at
this is from yes, Carol. Let me make sure. I got stuff all mixed up, so I wanted to make sure it was from. So Carol sent me these
They're cute.
for the studio.
Look at
She
that.
said, see, look how perfectly they match. Is that not too stinking cute? Look at that.
Look at these.
Thank
Those
you.
are really
And then she
cute.
sent me the socks.
Look at those.
So,
oh my goodness.
Here, we'll just set them right here, just so
They're perfect with
so
the
we
black.
can
And look
admire
at
them.
that. Oh my goodness. Good eye. I'm picking those out.
Oh, thank you,
Oh,
thank you.
you guys are something else.
And that was from. Thank you, Andrea. We got your card. Thank you. And then let's see.
You already did the tea?
I did.
Uh-huh.
Thanks for the Earl Grey.
Mike
Mike says thanks for the tea.
And oh yes, this was from Kimberly. She said thank you for the Bible. And
That was nice.
We've had several people send thank you notes for the
Yeah,
Bible. So
that's
thank you,
really
guys.
sweet of you.
And this was Oh yes, you're from Audra, maybe. I got your Bible donation. Thank you. And we had a couple others that are down in the office that I didn't get. Barbara, Polly, got that from you. Thank you. We got behind on the mail and it got stuck in the mailbox, and then I got I just got behind on getting all the mail processed and everything. So thank you, everyone. We really appreciate it. But I was very sad when I got all the way back from Colorado and realized I didn't get my tea.
Get your tea. So she's got a supply now.
Yes, I was. Jennifer says to stop butter from burning, add a drop of oil in the pan.
Oh,
well,
yeah. I've heard if you do even half of those two.
Yeah. My daughter, who is celiac, made our gluten-free bread in the maker, one specifically for gluten-free breads, and it was really good. We wouldn't have bought it, but it was gifted to her, and it's great. Yay! 35% off all our books right now, guys. Yes, just the gluten-free sandwich bread alone, it's $1.50 to make it instead of $6 and $7.50 now for a loaf of gluten-free bread. So you'll pay for it in just not very long, a couple of months. Let's see. Tesha maybe says, I went to a yard sale and got a small tote for $1 filled with children's books in wonderful shape. My husband is happy for a free tote and my kids have new stories. Very good.
Good.
That's great. Yeah. Mike's sending me questions. So if you guys have questions, throw them in there. Hope my arm is. Thank you. I went to the chiropractor. So let's see. What day did we film? Thursday or Friday? I don't know.
Friday.
Was it Friday?
I can't remember. We
filmed Thursday or Friday. And it must have been Friday. It was Friday we filmed. So we filmed Friday. And
we had more trouble with the wash. When you see this washing film come out,
I'm going to give it away, but I'm going to give it away anyway. So we were filming. And before we filmed, Mom said, now don't go falling in the creek.
Do I know my daughter or do I know my daughter?
I was going to purposely fall in the creek. So Dave's filming for me. And I tell Dave, I said, okay, Dave, no matter what happens. Now I should have qualified this except for blood. But I should have said, but I said, no matter what happens, you just keep filming no matter what happens. And I should have said, unless you see blood. I did not say that. I should have said that. But
was there blood?
No, there wasn't blood. But I got to thinking, if I would have hit my head on a rock or something, and I just told him to keep filming,
he would have obeyed you. He would have done it. He would have. So not that he doesn't love you, he just obeys really well.
So I told Dave, I said, keep filming no matter what happens. And I kid you not, a half a second after I said that, I go sliding down the hill. So I pulled my back, pulled my arm, hadn't even gotten the first gallon of water. And so then we had this running joke. Dave said, Mom, do you want? I said, no, Dave, we're pretending like you're dead. So you can't help me. I have to do this myself because I don't have 3 sons and a husband to help me. So I'm doing it myself. So you're dead, Dave. He's like, Mom, are you sure? Yes.
I told her that because I knew I've been by that creek and I could tell it was a hard, I wanted to go down to the creek and I never did it because I thought I'm going to fall going down there. So that's why I warned her. I thought she's going to fall flatter than a pancake.
I did. And so I pulled my back and my shoulder.
She really hurt
bad.
Herself bad.
As a matter of fact, Mike was going to rub it and I was like, don't touch me.
Yeah, she couldn't hardly move her arm. And
then we
were doing the washing thing the next day or whatever. And if we didn't have a mess with trying to get that set up.
So I made it through the washing video. And it actually didn't hurt too bad during the washing video because it had just happened a few hours before that. But the next morning,
she was even worse.
Oh my goodness. I could hardly move. And so then Saturday.
Oh, Sunday.
Well, so then Saturday I could hardly move, but it was supposed to freeze. So I pull all 50 geraniums out of the ground and I'm hauling soil and I'm planting geraniums and I'm hauling them downstairs and I'm hauling them from the other garden. And so I was like, nope. it's supposed to freeze. I'm going to get it done. So I got all the plants in and I hurt so bad. So I got in the tub. Okay, got the plants in. It didn't freeze.
You know, it was only night that week, I think,
so
that it didn't freeze.
I was so mad. It did not freeze.
Well, I was worried about her in church the next
I hurt
morning
really bad.
because she stood up to sing and she couldn't get set back down. And I'm thinking, okay, what do I do here to help her get? And Mike couldn't grab her from that side because that was her hurt side. And she
bad.
almost couldn't get set back down.
Well,
so she had to sit through all the rest of the singing.
I thought I could make it through church. But after I got to church, I was like, oh my goodness, I think I'm going to throw up from pain.
It was like pretty bad
so
shape.
Saturday was bad. But then Sunday, I was like, I'm going to die.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I almost started wondering if I had broken something because it was hurting so bad. So I got in the tub, soaked in the tub, and then I slept with the heating pad all night. And then Monday, I got into the chiropractor and he got me straightened back up again. And by about 1 o'clock, I think he whatever was out back in because I started feeling better enough that I could move again.
We did this so we could show you guys how to do laundry.
We showed you real life.
We did show you real life how to do laundry with no electricity, no water. You guys, we go all the way for you guys. We really talk about reality TV.
You got the real deal.
But you know, actually, it is something you need to consider to be careful because you won't have medical, during these times as much as what you normally have.
Well, do you know how close I was to hitting my head on the concrete?
Yeah, I know. And so you have to be careful. And that's why, even though the video looks like it's just crazy because we're doing one thing after another wrong, it's a good example of how you have to really be careful and think this stuff through, and show you what not to do for when the time comes.
Oh, and I forgot. And I harvested all the tomatoes.
Yeah, you did.
I had like 15 or 20 tomato plants. And so I just laid a tarp and I just started shaking them all in the tarp.
So if you don't think, you don't think I'm a horrible mother, I said, can I come over and help you with something?
Yeah.
Oh no, I've got it all. I've got it all. It's not that big a deal. I could have shot her.
Well, I didn't know, first of all, I had that many tomatoes. I thought they were more gone than they were. So I didn't know I had that many tomatoes. But then the geraniums, no offense, Miss Black Thumb, but I don't want you touching my plants. No
now, what did my geranium look like?
Your geranium did look beautiful.
My geranium looks beautiful.
It did. Okay, real quick. Dining on a Dime cookbooks, guys, including our gluten-free, which I misunderstood. She bought the book, not the bread machine. But volume 1 and volume 2 go together, but they can be used separately. And then gluten-free, dairy-free, they're all 35% off right now, guys. All 35% off. And the sale goes through Tuesday, so I don't know what date that is. So,
I thought of something else we have in here the other day. I forgot we had Zwieback. Do you guys know the Zwieback crackers that we used to get for?
If anybody uses them anymore.
I don't know. We use Zwieback crackers for babies. When they were teething, we would give them that, and we've even got a recipe for Zwieback crackers in there. I forgot about that till the other day.
Yep. Did I get more red tomatoes? I got a whole bunch of green tomatoes. I got oh my goodness, probably, you guys can't see this table, but probably if you go this big, and about this wide, and they were about this deep.
Of tomatoes?
Yeah.
She had a lot. She thought she didn't have. Her bushes were huge. I've never seen tomato bushes this big.
They finally just set fruit like a month ago.
Yeah, that was a problem. They weren't setting. But she had huge bushes and huge plants. But I've never seen a garden quite like this because I laugh every time I come, and I shouldn't laugh because she's given me all these fruits and these vegetables.
You guys think she's a sweet little old lady. You guys are like, your mom is so sweet. She walks in my house. Ooh.
No, I said, is this a miniature garden? I have never seen every vegetable out of the garden be so tiny. I've never seen a little pepper like this little bitty cucumber. And she has bowls of these vegetables.
Zucchini, Mother.
Oh, that was zucchini. I mean, these little tomatoes, and I mean, I know there's cherry tomatoes, but these are little squashes. I've never seen one bite of squash, bite-sized squash. They would look really cute in arrangement for the table, the type of thing. But every one of them turned out that tiny. That's
because
what
they just set 2 weeks ago.
that's what was so shocking about it.
Okay, are you done insulting my
I'm
garden?
done. I'm sorry, because she just gave me some tomatoes. I shouldn't say anything.
They weren't even my tomatoes.
Oh, they weren't?
Do you know whose they were? The lady we brought the house from.
Oh, really?
She called and told me she had a whole bunch of garden seeds if I wanted them. And I said, yeah. So I stopped by to get the garden seeds. And she started just giving me all these tomatoes. Christine says, don't be embarrassed. My mother-in-law was making pumpkin roll and forgot the pumpkin. I know. Squeaky Melissa says, just wanted to say thank you. I've been watching your channel only a few months. Canceled my cable. Good going. Buy iced coffee, paid off 2, and stopped buying iced coffee, paid 2 credit cards off.
Oh my.
Paid off 2 credit cards and saving $400 a month.
Oh my goodness. Way
Good
to
job.
go.
Wow.
Now,
Very
see,
good.
this shows this stuff is really
Mhm.
doable. You just have to give up a few things for a while, to
Yeah.
get it taken care of.
How many vanilla beans are in the jar? Debbie wants to know. Let me see.
Oh.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. There's 10 in this.
Do you need 10?
Tell them how many times you've refilled it though with the same beans.
Yeah. So this is the first batch with this set of beans, but I can refill it at least 3 to 4 times with the same amount. So just so you guys get an idea.
And that's a lot of
how it
vanilla,
goes, yeah.
guys. I mean, that's
So,
really a lot
okay,
of
so
vanilla.
here's what I did. My beans were getting ready to go bad. Well, not bad. So
They were just getting older.
they were getting older. I had them in the freezer already for like 18 months, which is probably a year is the max. So this preserves them.
Mm-hmm. Alcohol.
Alcohol is a
I
preservative
need
for
to start
those.
drinking, don't
Yes,
I?
you do.
I need all the preserving I can
Getting
get.
up there. And so alcohol is a preservative. So I just dumped all of them in there, knowing that the first batch would be a little bit stronger. So I used half strength. So instead of using a teaspoon, I used a half a teaspoon. So just so you guys know, but yeah. Let's see. Can you knead bread in a mixer? Yes, you can, but I
Yeah.
don't have a stand mixer.
I don't either.
And the one I got at you can send me the next questions, Mike. The one I got at the garage sale the other day, I don't like it. So I'm going to turn around and resell it for $20 on Upcycle. And I only paid 15. So actually I do that
Well,
all
it
the
works.
time.
It's just not.
Oh, it works.
Yeah,
I
it
just
works.
don't.
It's just not like what she needs.
Well,
for.
no, it's that I don't have counter space.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the construction guys came over the other day to give me an estimate to remodel the kitchen. And I'm trying to decide if the kitchen's remodeled, if I want to get a stand mixer, but I don't know if I even want a stand mixer. I'm
You've
like,
had one before and you didn't use it too much.
well, I go through spurts where I'll use it all the time for like Hostess cupcake filling. So like the Hostess cupcake filling in here. Dining at a Time cookbook, 35% off right now. You have to beat it for 30 minutes. You have to mix it for 30 minutes. 20?
20 or 30.
20 or 30 minutes.
Maybe 30. Yeah, 30.
Well, I guess who got to do that as a kid?
I only had a
Before-
hand mixer.
Before stand mixers. So I'll go through spurts where I'll do it for recipes like that.
That's another good recipe to send
Mhm.
to kids in school is you just make chocolate cupcakes and you make the Hostess cupcake filling. You don't even have to frost in them then. And you keep them in the freezer. You fill them with the cupcake filling and throw them in the freezer and then you can just pop them out and they're ready for school in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Echoing says, I have no idea what this is a reference to, so you'll have to just repeat what you're saying. It is, but all I got is a small Chevy Spark to work with and budget, so I go to experts for any advice on strategy for it. I have no idea. She says he's looking for advice, so I don't know. Rephrase that because we talk about so much, I can't remember what I said 30 seconds ago. Let's see. Linda said I could make my veggies collectibles. See, I bet I could sell those for $100.
I bet
on
you could,
eBay.
yeah, especially that $350 tomato.
No. Did you send it, Mike? He said he sent them.
Is it questions 2?
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, speaking of which, I had internet issues again today. It took 10 minutes to download 2 MB picture. And the download speed was 836. I took a picture of it. I have evidence.
We're going to have to hire a tech support
If
crew.
we disappear, we're having internet issues, guys. So just so you know. Colleen's Posh Life says, thank you for my son's Bible. It came today. Yay!
Oh, good.
So if you guys want a free Bible, we give away free Bibles. livingonadime.com. Go to the shop, click on free Bible. If you can't afford one, just click or just use the coupon code free Bible. And we are happy to send you one. We started giving them away when we started answering people's Bible questions, for those of you who don't know, because some people didn't have or couldn't afford Bibles, so we were happy to supply them for them. Simple guy, simple life.
Here, somebody was noting that the actual website says 25% off and not 35.
Yes. Okay,
Store
so
says 35, but we
okay.
can't get into the website.
So the website says that the books are 25% off instead of 35% off, but go to the store, click on the shop, and they are 35% off. Our shop is hosted on a different thing than our website. And we had Chinese hackers trying to take us out a couple of weeks ago. And Mike had to put on a new software to protect us from getting hacked. Well, it's locked us out. So now we can't get onto our own website to change that. So just so you guys know,
It is
35% off. Just keep going to the shop and you'll see it in the shop. Okay. What are the best deals at Dollar Tree? You have to just go and do the prices yourself. I will tell you, shampoo is not a good deal. Some medicines are. Some things like toothbrushes are. Some makeup is. I don't know. Well, simple guy. I guess you're a guy, so you wouldn't care about the makeup. And then
But the food stuff you need to watch very
food.
carefully because they seem cheaper, but they're smaller amounts sometimes.
And like the coconut milk, you got to watch coconut milk. So the coconut milk is significantly cheaper, but they add water to their coconut milk. Well, so how I figured it out was I looked at the fat percentage. So you know that the coconut milk, if it's a good deal or not, look at the fat percentage at Walmart or grocery store, or whatever. Compare it to Dollar Tree. Well, Dollar Tree is still actually half the price, even though they added more water. But it's not as thick as the other coconut milk. So if you're using it for something like coconut milk whipped cream, it's not going to work as well. It would be fine for baked goods, but not like coconut milk whipped cream. So Jill, what is your favorite color? Nancy wants to know.
You know what? That I get asked that, and it's so, I don't have really a favorite color. I always tell the kids, grandkids, I love every single color a whole lot. And if you look at my closet, they always say, look in your closet and you'll be able to tell what your favorite color is or how you decorate your house. I have every color under the rainbow. I just love all of them. So I really do. Have you ever noticed me have a favorite color?
Black.
Black. Black.
She doesn't like
Only in
Mike.
plants. Only when it's plants.
Just ignore Mike, like Tara says.
your favorite. Yeah. Well, you like more pastel-y type thing. I like jewel tones. And
I love pastels, but not any more so than anything else. See, that's it.
Okay. Well,
so I love all the colors. Now the house I'm decorating now, I'm doing pinks like roses, pink roses and pinky and kind of rosy colors, just because it goes good with my green walls that I have in the house now. But like our first house, I had one room was blue, one room was yellow, one room was orange, and Tara's room was pink.
Yeah.
And so I just had every room was a different color. So
the extended family just about had a cow.
I know everybody.
The kitchen was olive avocado green.
Yeah.
Did you say that?
No, I didn't say.
And yellow.
And yellow and orange.
The bathroom is yellow.
Purple. The nursery was purple. Bright. I mean, I had bright purple rug. It had purple paint on the walls.
Carpet. Wasn't it orange carpet?
Yeah, we had orange carpet. Goodness. Well, we had orange living room walls at one point. but it did look nice, though, didn't it?
Oh my goodness. I just remembered my dream.
Oh, great.
Oh my word. I just remembered my dream. So let's see, not last night, but the night before. I was going to tell you about this. So we were driving by the old house.
Oh, and the old house and the outside of the house had maroon shutters.
Yeah, it was gray and maroon.
Mm-hmm.
So we were driving by the old house, and somehow I went up and knocked on the door for something. And I said, yeah, I used to live here. And they were like, oh, really? So they took me on a tour, and oh my goodness, it looked like a fun house. But sitting out on the Miss Marie's side
Mm-hmm.
was the old kitchen sink and cabinet.
Oh, yeah.
And so
Avocado green
I said,
metal sink.
that's the kitchen sink and cabinet I grew up with. I said, can I have that? They were like, oh yeah, sure, we're taking it to the dump. I said, oh, you can't dump our kitchen sink and cabinet.
Mike over there just.
So here we were hauling a kitchen sink and cabinet from Kansas to Wyoming.
Yeah, the kitchen sink was a metal painted avocado. It sounds atrocious, but it really did look nice, didn't it? I mean, it wasn't bad. It was done tastefully. I mean, I got compliments on it, but yeah.
Okay, Diane Dime cookbooks, guys, 35% off. Volume 1, Volume 2. They're used separately or together, either way. Gluten-free, dairy-free. 35% off. I know the website says 25. We got locked out of our website, so Mike couldn't change it, but it is 35. Just keep going to the shop and it's there. Okay. Echoing says, this is what they were talking about. In Texas. Oh, you want to make a trip to Texas? You want to go? You want to go to your homeland?
Let's do it.
Yeah, maybe we should do that.
Yeah.
Wait till you hear this.
What's happening in Texas?
We're about to have our Highway 80 sale with hundreds of yard sales.
Oh my.
Any advice for someone with a small car on a budget to clean up big during it?
I think we need to come down personally and help Echoing. figure
Mike
it
says
out.
we need to come down, Echo, and help you personally.
Grab some
bring the
fajitas.
pickup.
We'll bring a trailer or
Bring the
something.
pickup.
Use the savings to buy fajitas every day.
Use
while
Mike
we're there.
said use the fajitas to buy. Use the savings to buy fajitas for every meal we're there. So here's what I would do. So first of all, make sure everything is out of your car
Yeah,
that you
the
don't
trunk
need
in
to
every
carry in
place.
there. Secondly, bring ropes so that you can
Bungee
tie
cords,
things on
ropes.
top,
Mhm.
or you can leave your trunk open and bungee cord your trunk. I would, if you have a car topper, I would get a car topper and go ahead and just hook it up on the top of your car. It might be worth it if you can get one at Walmart. I don't know how much are car toppers now. Let's see.
Well, even at that, you can maybe get a small U-Haul trailer, a little tiny U-Haul trailer for not very much for just one day.
Yeah,
And it would be worth it for the savings you would get at a garage, you know, for as much
$50
as-
for a car topper. That'd probably be, or $38. Here's one for $38. But my goodness, you'd probably just get a couple of totes and wrap them in plastic
Yeah.
and cord them. I don't know if that's even
Some
legal.
boxes or something and bungee cord, or rope them down on the top. One thing too, now, if you get something long, what we used to do is on the passenger side, you can slide where the mirror is, you can slide it on top of the mirror through the window, or tie them along the passenger side to the door handles on the outside. You brace it on the mirror at the front. If they're not heavy, you know, if it's something very long, just brace it on the mirror and then go along, and on the passenger door handle on the front and the back, tie it. Tie it to hold it on.
So then you're going to be looking like this. Oops, hold on. Oops.
Oh,
Wrong.
can they get it?
There.
Every day on one trip.
This is what we look like sometimes on moving day.
She's not kidding.
And I'm not
It is.
kidding.
Actually,
We could tie things on that car like you can tie it to a bumper. You can just, you know, take a lot of rope with you.
Mike was traumatized with my dad.
we were
Oh, yeah.
moving and I had the truck completely full and we only had like a third of the stuff on there. He said, "Oh no, we can get it all on there."
My dad can pack a truck. Oh my
And my
goodness.
folks, I'm not
It's-
joking. My folks brought in a Volkswagen Bug.
Yeah.
They brought, you know, a metal trash can and a full-size picnic table. They had tied on the top of a Volkswagen Bug and the whole inside full.
If you
of
find
stuff.
clothes, you might have to put them on.
Yeah,
I mean,
slide them over the back of the seat.
stuff things
if you've
under
got-
the seat.
under the seats. Yeah, hold stuff in your lap. Put
Yeah.
your feet on top of stuff if you have to. You can tell we're experts about all things.
Let's see.
Beverly Hillbillies truck.
Yeah, it's a Beverly Hillbillies truck. That's for sure. Let's see. Okay. Do you save your geraniums? So I saved them this year. I don't know if I'm going to do it again next year. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to have a $2,000 flower garden budget every year. And I'm just not going to worry about it.
Now, this isn't kosher. And like Tara says, I have a black thumb. But I had a geranium and I had that thing about 5 years. And I would bring it in the house every winter, and I put it on a southeast window. That thing, it was 4 foot tall. Remember the picture I sent you?
Mm-hmm.
It grew to be 4 feet tall over the winter and had
Wow.
blossoms on it
That's
all
huge.
winter long. It was huge. By bringing it in. I didn't do any special, sometimes they say to pull it, cut it down to the roots or something. I know all this stuff. I just brought it in the house and set it in the window, and that thing wouldn't stop growing. And I would take it out and in the summer again, and I had it for about 5 years. So
Sweeback. Laura wants to know, is that the same as the crisp bread in Sweden? No, it's a different thing.
it's a different, yeah.
With the stuff in Sweden is a rye bread. This is just it's like a yeast cracker is what it is. It's a bread that you bake and then you cut it up.
It's like
and
a
then
little toast.
Dehydrate it.
Hard,
Yeah.
dry toast thing.
Then you dehydrate it. Hello, Linda in Oklahoma.
Oh.
Let's see. Mike, can you send the next one? Don says, my sister made an apple pie once and it smelled heavenly until I took the first bite because she used salt instead of sugar.
My best friend did that one time. She was having all the ladies from the church over, and she had both canisters. I don't know how she did it, but she had both canisters and had salt, and she put and I tasted and I thought, oh no, how do I tactfully tell her with all the ladies there that
Jesse says, thank you for your channel. Friday is my last day working full-time. We'll be a stay-at-home mom with the kids and working part-time. You go.
I think you'll enjoy that.
Actually, I'm going to be doing a video on working part-time at home because after our Social Security video came out, I have determined, I'm going to get hate mail for this. But after our last Social Security video came out, I have determined 90% of the people who are on Social Security disability just want to be because they are not looking outside the box enough. It's like I've been watching and there are people keep saying, well, I can't work because I'm on Social Security. Yes, you can. There are thousands of jobs that you can do while working. I'm only going to list 10 or 20, but oh my goodness, there is so much you can do. And even like for us, we've been looking to hire a video editor and a Facebook manager. And it's amazing the stuff you can do online now.
Yeah.
Even if you want to. But I think people they get their heads buried in the sand and just don't even want to try to get
some
out
of these
it.
myths go around that you can't work once you're on Social Security, and they are just a myth,
Yeah. Lisa says, I'm out of debt now, and it wasn't easy. Lots of sacrifice and so worth it.
It is
Very
worth it.
good.
I'm glad you said that it was worth it because we can't ever explain to people the feeling when you're out of debt. It's like nothing you can explain.
Question, Christine, do you keep your non-electric washer and supplies away in a bin or keep it out and use it for practice? Let me tell you, all hell is breaking loose before I do that again. Let's just put it that way. The end is near if we do that again.
If you see us doing laundry out again, you know that it's the last
And I've done this stuff.
I know.
It's not like I haven't done this stuff in my life. But when you have to walk through the entire process with no running water,
without the
no
running
electricity,
water, that's what was hard.
People have no clue.
Not having either one of those and having to haul the water in and that type of thing.
But when we've been camping, it's not even the same camping.
No.
Because when you're camping, the majority of the time, You're like right next to
Yeah,
the
we're
water.
right by
You're
the,
right
you
there.
usually find a spot that's close to the water.
You don't have to walk 2 blocks to go get water.
Mm-hmm.
Or like my great grandmother, they had to go a mile
Yeah.
to haul water because
For
they
all
didn't
the
have a
water
well.
they used. Yeah.
It was bad.
Mhm. No wonder women died at 30 and 35. My goodness, doing the laundry would kill them all.
Would it be better to haul the laundry to the water instead of the other way around?
Yeah, well, that's why they haul the laundry to the water.
Yeah, they did a lot
Yeah.
of times. They would. Yeah.
And so
Sometimes, like in the winter, you know, it was
Yeah.
they would do it in the house.
Denise
so.
said I brought in, I think it's Denise. I brought in my impatiens in the house and it lasted 3 years. I had thought about bringing in my
I know.
impatiens.
I've got
still have
2
some.
pots of them. I was trying to. I asked Tara if I should bring them in.
I'm out of space though. So
Well, that's it. I don't have enough window
I don't
area.
either. This huge 4,500 ridiculously huge square foot house, I literally do not have a window to put plants.
Yeah,
anywhere.
she doesn't.
Nowhere. The one, what is it? How big is my kitchen window? 2 feet, maybe 18 inches, 2 feet, probably 2 feet.
2 feet.
My 1 2 feet window has a sink right under it.
Yeah, she's got decking either over the windows
Yeah.
or something like that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Mike's going to fix you right up.
Huh?
Mike's going to fix you right up.
You're
Mike's
gonna
gonna
fix
fix-
me right up? Why?
Putting that 20-foot long window in the kitchen.
So when we remodel the kitchen, we're gonna put a 90-inch. I don't know how far is 90 inches. That would be 6.5, 7 foot. 6.5 to 7 foot window in there, or 3 windows combining that space.
because you really do need
Well,
it.
no, not quite 90 inches because we got that. We're leaving the big cabinet now. So probably 80 inches.
Mhm.
Probably 80 inches.
5.5
however big that
feet or
is.
something like that.
And then I'm going to have a
6
plant.
feet, 6.5.
I'm going to make that into a plant.
And you
counter?
do need it.
What do
Yeah.
we call that? I don't know. Linda, I would love a video about working from home part-time. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to do, that's actually on my to-do list because as we've been searching for people to do stuff for the business, it's like there is nobody out there. I mean, we had 30 people here in Sheridan and only one of them followed the directions that I gave them.
And there's a lot of odd
Yeah.
jobs. You just need to let people know too a little bit that you're wanting something to do at home. I told a gal once she was working and she said, you know, I have all these recipes of my family's recipes that we love so much, but I don't have time to make them. So for a long time, she would bring all the groceries and the pans and everything over to me, the disposable pans, and have me cook her family recipes for her. And then she'd put them in the freezer. I could do that from home. I could stay at home and do something like that. So there's lots of odd jobs. I was at Joann Fabrics one time and this looking over in the ironing section or iron section. And this gal said, do you know anything about irons? Well, I happened to take in ironing at that time. And I said, well, yeah, I do know a little bit. I said, I take ironing in for a job. And she said, oh my goodness. She said, would you mind doing my ironing? I mean, that was just casually talking to somebody at Joann Fabrics. So sometimes you can find odd jobs to do by just talking to people about these things that they have a need of some sort, that you could, even like Tara, if she let people know that she's a gardener, she could start plants for them and, sell them to people.
I've been a personal gardener. I've sold plants. I've sold produce. I have sold mulch.
Mm-hmm.
I have, and that's just with the gardening stuff.
Yeah.
Personal gardeners get $50 an hour.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So there's just start looking around and see what kind of needs do you think people,
Yep.
have.
Okay, I'm going to get to the next questions, guys, but our cookbooks are 35% off right now. The green one is gluten-free, dairy-free. And Dining on a Dime Volume 1 and 2, they go together but can be used separately. And they are all 35% off right now. If you go to the website, livingonadime.com, it says 25% off, but we got locked out of our website. And so if you keep going to the shop, which is hosted on another site, then you will find that they are 35% off.
It only happens when we're getting ready to have a sale. These things only happen when we're going to have a sale.
I don't know what's going on. All right. Gina says, are you sure we're not hoarders? Yeah. I know it looks like we're hoarders in the videos, guys, but Oh, I got all on one lady. Oh, I think I'm going to do a video about it. But this one lady is like, well, what are you doing decorating your basement? You don't need to be decorating your basement. What a huge waste of money. Who decorates their basement? My basement is an apartment. I have people coming over. We are going to start offering it. Like, we have people, well, we know of people who come to town frequently and stay in a motel, and they could just stay, that they do church service.
Mike's office is in the basement.
In the basement.
Mhm.
It's not like, and furthermore, let's say I have a nasty dungeon of a basement, but I have to go down there several times a day, every day. Decorate it. Who wants to look at old concrete block walls every day you go down there?
Yeah, I got
okay.
free paint when I lived in Wichita, and I painted my basement walls. Why not? You know,
I'm not saying Gina's saying this, but I'm just saying people get so stuck that it has to be one way or another, or you just can't spend a penny on anything. I'm sorry, I spent like $20 on the last garage sale on fluffy stuff, and in just one shirt was 3 times that amount that I got for Dave for $2. Okay, so I got the Dave, the clothes, and all of that. And then the other stuff was decorations for the basement. And then, but we get stuff like notebook paper. Why should I pay full price for notebook paper when Jack needs it every year?
Yeah.
When I can get it for $1.
Yeah. It seems we're just buying a lot of stuff ahead of time because we won't have garage sales in another couple of weeks. So we're going to go without doing a whole bunch of shopping for like 6 to 9 months, you know. So
we're doing thrift store videos.
Oh, we are doing thrift stores. But I mean, you know, we won't have garage sales the same way like we usually do.
No.
So we're getting like some Christmas presents and things like that. So it's not hoarding that we're doing.
And honestly, I don't buy anything I don't use.
No, that's another thing. People call it hoarding is when you just have stacks and stacks and stacks of stuff that just sit there. We use everything that we buy.
And when I'm done with it, it goes into the thrift store pile and it goes right back to the thrift store again when I'm done with it.
You were saying like you spent $20 for decorating. I got this cute little like nightlight, floral nightlight thing for just $1. I think it was $1 or so at a thrift or a garage sale. It was a garage sale. And I looked on the bottom of it. It had the original price, $29. $29. You know, that floral nightlight I got, it was $29 and some odd cents. And so, I spent $1 for it. I'm thinking that's a good thing.
Well, here's another thing. For those of you who say you can't ever make any money. I bought a mixer for $15. I'm going to put it on upcycle because I didn't like it and sell it for $20. I got a toaster for $2, a toaster oven. I sold it for $25.
Yeah, you can do stuff like that all the time.
I honestly,
we probably have never paid for anything.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, for all the stuff we bought, we've gotten paid for buying it.
Like the floral couch that was in the last video. I guarantee you I could sell that for $200.
Oh, yeah.
I know I could sell that for $200. And I paid $20 for it. Now, here's the thing. I got the couch because it was $20 instead of spending $300 or $400 on a new bed for my son to sleep on when he comes to visit.
Yeah.
But
that's how we do that. And people don't rationally think things out like that all the time when it comes to, it looks like we're getting, you know, all kinds of.
I have no idea what this name is, but they say that we're becoming the highlight of their week.
Thank you. That's sweet.
Let's see. Do you keep? Oh no, that one we already answered. Dana, I am trying to cut the cost of my electric bill. Jill, do you use your dishwasher or clothes dryer?
No, I don't. I don't use either one.
Nope.
I save the most on my electric bill by not using my clothes dryer. I have a line. And I don't use my dishwasher. I was excited to get a dishwasher in this house, but it uses more water and it uses electricity. And also it's messing up my dishes kind of, you know, it's making them like taken the finish off a little bit. So I'm just back to hand washing my dishes again.
And so to put it in perspective, though, it costs between 25 and 70 cents an hour to run your dryer. So there you go. It costs 12 cents an hour to run the gas dryer. So for those of you wondering if you have a big family, so like when the kids were little, I hung everything on the clothesline.
Yeah, you need to add that up because like say 25 cents an hour doesn't sound like much, but you start adding that up over a month's time, over a year's time. And if you're trying to get out of debt, some of these little things you can save and that can help get you out of debt. It would be one credit card bill sometimes, you know.
By the way, my dryer broke this week. Another thing on top of the list.
Good thing we know how to wash the clothes outside, isn't it?
Dave was having a cow because he was having to hang his laundry on the front porch.
I saw it. Right? He put it right in front of the front door.
Well, he had to because the way the sun was, that was the only spot that stayed.
I would have welcomed that. When I was walking up, there was Dave's undies hanging.
Let's see, Josephine. I bought fertilizer, never used it before. How do you use the fertilizer? Just follow the directions on the back of the package.
And be careful.
Don't over fertilize.
Don't over fertilize. That is one thing that can kill things easy.
Yeah. Carol says, I've had the same KitchenAid mixer since 1974, still works like new, and I'm an avid baker. Before Christmas, that mixer is going all the time. I would recommend one for everyone. We will not recommend one for everyone. I'm telling you. I had a brand new one that I bought, and I maybe used that thing 50 times, and it died. I was pretty ticked about that.
But you're normal because most people love their KitchenAids. But I
don't use
Tara can expect a phone call every year about the end of October.
And it's your own fault for keep using it.
Oh, I know.
Val, I love our Dining on a Dime cookbook. Thank you. This is the first one and the second one. 35% off right now, guys. Go check it out in our shop. Yes, I know the livingonadime.com says 25, but we got locked out of our store, so it's actually 35% off. So keep going. Any suggestions on uses for sweet potatoes? I was given a whole bag of them. Bake them. Yum. I would bake them and either dehydrate them or freeze them.
Yeah, I was just going to say it takes a little bit of time. But if you cook them and then dehydrate them and powder them up, they're so handy to have because Tara was so sick for a while and that was about all she could eat. And so she would just take that powdered sweet potato stuff and add a little water to it and some butter, and it was already cooked, ready to go. So it's really handy to have. It's good for prepping supply stuff too, because you don't need to really cook it or anything. You just need to add water, warm water to it.
Yeah. Can you send me the next questions, Mike? Nancy says, what the heck business is it of anyone's if you decorate your basement? Golly, it's your basement. I know.
People have strong opinions.
It's not like I drink. I'm not kidding. Most people spend more on drinks in one day after work than we do in a month at garage sales. And we are doing more because we just moved and we're getting everything. Like in Colorado, I probably didn't go. It was 5 years. And I maybe hit 10 garage sales in 5 years.
Well, I was going to say I've maybe been to 2 garage sales in 10 years in the last 10 years I lived in Kansas because I didn't need anything, so I didn't go. But since we've been here, we've been having to.
Yeah.
It's not like you drink, you just bake with a lot of vanilla.
Just bake with a lot of vanilla.
Like I said, it's not like I drink, I just bake with a lot of vanilla.
It's trippy.
Oh, oops.
That's
Mary's
good.
Colorful Journey says, actually, that's going to hurt my arm. Just love you guys. I just like to pop in and say this. It's absolutely no one's business if you want to decorate your basement. Thank you. I'm serious. I'm going to do a video on this. Well, because think about it. How many people go into this dingy, nasty basement and it's depressing and you go down there every day to do laundry. Fix it up.
Yeah.
So it's not depressing. This is part of the reason why some people are so depressed all the time because you don't take the time to fix up your house. You don't take time to even clean your house. Clean it.
Oh, now we're getting on cleaning. No.
Well, I was just thinking about the Hoopy house. Mike and I moved into the house from hell. I mean,
I have never.
Mom didn't even see it in person.
I
and it was
I saw it
awful.
afterwards, and it was still.
I'm not exaggerating when I say the day we moved in, because we rented it over the phone, which was, I know was stupid, but we didn't have the internet back then to look at these things. Well, we had the internet, but didn't use it that
like you
way.
do, yeah.
And so we rented it over the phone, and we drove up at 1:00 in the morning with a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old and my grandparents in a moving van. After having my daughter have to go to the hospital for dehydration
On the trip.
nightmare, a trip that should have taken us 2 days took us like 5. It was a nightmare. We drive in, and there was, I'm not exaggerating, a 6-foot tall by probably 8-foot wide pile of trash in the front yard. We went the next day. The sink and the toilet were black, and they were white. The sink, toilet, and tub were white. They were totally black. We went to go clean the stove. I'm not kidding. When you open the stove top, it was this deep with dead mice and roaches. It was awful. Yet, we still cleaned it up and lived there for the 6 nightmarish months we had to live there.
Mm-hmm.
And we did it, but we kept it clean. And people just don't take the time to have any self-respect anymore to just clean up where you're living.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I got on a moment there, but
I
the
know.
Social Security, every time we do a Social Security video, I just want to just wring these people's necks and just say, you know what? I get that you're sick and I get that you have disabilities, but we got one story. A lady had cerebral palsy. Is that how you say it?
Mhm.
Cerebral palsy. I mean, she was truly disabled. She was like really disabled. Yet she was still able to get married. She was still able to have kids. She still was taking care of herself. She ended up, I think, divorced maybe or something, and still ended up taking care of herself because she had decided that she was going to let this disability be her life. And all these other people are sitting there whining
Mm-hmm.
about how they can't afford this or that, basically because they don't want to get their lazy buns off the couch and do something. Just because you're disabled doesn't mean you can't do anything at all. That's my little rant for the day. Wait till you see the video that comes up. But seriously, it's not that, Mom, she sold gingerbread men at Christmas. She has resold all, stuff like at garage sales and stuff like that. She's done cleaning. She's done ironing. I've done all these things. It's not that you can't do anything. It's that you don't want to do anything. And you refuse to do anything. And don't tell me you're just depressed either. I'm so sick of people telling me how they're depressed. Well, if you get your butts off the couch, you might not be so depressed if you started accomplishing something.
And we know about clinical depression. We know
get
that
it,
there
but-
are, but it's more and more just
Get up
it's
and
the
go for a
acceptable
walk.
thing. Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I don't know how I ended up on that one, but I did. So anyway, Mike's
there
telling
anybody
me,
left
Mike's
watching?
telling me I need to show the books again. Dime cookbooks, guys, 35% off right now. Yes, I know this website says 25, but go to the shop. It's 35% off. We locked ourselves out of our own website. Did not mean to. So sorry, back to where I was. Kimberly Nash, sweet potatoes are good. Pan fries like sausage and onion. Yes, very
Mhm.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Use it anywhere you would use a regular potato.
Baked,
That's what I do.
baked
Twice
sweet
baked.
potatoes.
Dehydrate them.
Sweet potato pie.
Yeah. I love sweet potatoes myself. Okay, next questions. Mike got the next one. Can you put plastic on your balcony for a temporary greenhouse? Not in Wyoming.
Yeah, the winds
So,
too.
And even the corrugated boards would probably get blown.
Mhm.
The wind, it's not as bad here in Sheridan, but when it kicks up,
Yeah. Oh
it's
my.
bad.
I'll
It's
never
really
forget the first week we were removed. I
We
got
were
here. Tara and I were sitting looking out her. We were sitting in the living room looking out her sliding glass doors, and she had heavy wood. I mean, this
You guys
old,
saw
old.
the 70s.
Yeah, the 70s heavy, thick
Yeah.
wood furniture, and it was a couch, and that thing was like 3 cushions long. It was this you could hardly move the thing. And we sat there looking out the front window, and all of a sudden the wind came up and both of us looked. If we hadn't been together to see this together, nobody would have believed us. We wouldn't have believed each other. And here goes this couch just sliding down the deck. I'd never seen anything like it.
I wish I was filming.
I know.
It was unbelievable.
We both were in a state of shock. We just couldn't believe what was happening. But the wind just blew that heavy wood just straight down across the deck. I'm glad we both saw it, because Mike and the boys would never have believed us when we told them.
Paula loves our cookbooks. She's in California and
you.
uses all our tips and tricks to save money. Thank you. I don't know the name on this one. Once my mom was at my house making apple pies and used lemon. Oh my goodness. Used lemon cod liver oil instead of lemon juice. I teased her because I said her apple pies were legend.
Pop on there, guys, and leave
funny.
a comment of something you did like that, because I think we've all done something crazy.
Yeah. Denise
It's fun
says,
to hear
great
those.
idea about the window. I would go to 3 types and get a lot more indirect light. Yeah. Well, also there's a place that installs windows here. And here's a tip, guys. I was just talking to the lady about windows. And I said, I wish I could find one used or something, because they're just so expensive. And I said, well, I'm sorry. I know you guys sell windows, but I said, and she's like, she said, well, we have some that we've taken out of houses. Let me see if these would work. And they were going to sell me a $2,500 window for $200. It was just a little bit too big. They had 2 of them. One was slightly too small and one was too big. But I was like, ugh.
This is a good thing that Tara just said. And like I was talking about earlier, is talk to people. Just visit with people. Let them know your needs. Some people have asked, how do I find a used car, without going to a dealership? Let your coworkers, your friends, people at church, anything like that. Say, I'm looking for a new car. If you know somebody that has something for sale, but just there's nothing wrong with talking to people like that.
Yeah. Glenn says, please keep my great nephew, who is 2 months old, living with trisomy 18. I don't know what that is. We had to transport him to Boston Children's Hospital from Puerto Rico for heart surgery. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Dear.
Yeah, we will guys, please keep him in your prayers.
Yeah.
Wow. Poor little guy. Oh my goodness. Poor parents.
I know.
Actually.
Parents and the
and the
kids
grandparents.
and the grandparents. The whole family is affected.
Wow. Virginia says, my son has cerebral palsy. I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm sorry. Some people, I think it's pronounced 2 different ways or something.
Cerebral.
I think cerebral, Mike says, palsy, and has been working since he was 15, and a daughter with 1 lung cancer, and works full-time, a job, take care of her family. I know. Pamela says, would love to see a video on garage selling and hauling. Yes. So we've actually got a couple of videos that we just put out the last couple of weeks. But we're going to be doing garage or thrifting like pro, and how to thrift for beginners. Those videos are coming up. So,
and when you're looking at our videos, I never knew this for a long time, but there's a search thing up there, a little search thing, and just type in like garage sales or something like that. And that'll help narrow it down, because we've got thousands of videos, I think, on there. So by doing the search thing, you can find these videos a little bit easier than.
Yeah. Robin says, when I was a kid, I got my dad off of caffeinated coffee by accident. I was making decaf and it took him a while. Good thing he didn't have a machinist job. That could have been bad. Simple Guy, Simple Life says, when I was younger, my dad accidentally put a tablespoon of red pepper flakes instead of a teaspoon in a recipe. Ooh. Wow. Shannon, Mike used to live in Austin.
Yeah, he was from Austin. We still claim him, though. We'll let him in the family.
We feel sorry for him, but we can't help it.
Yeah.
It was his parents' fault. So, although I think we should go down there for those garage sales. Oh my goodness. Barbara says, I accidentally put cloves in my pepper grinder. Oh. I made turkey burgers, sat down to dinner, and said to my husband, who in the world would feed these to the cloves? Those cloves tore up the marble grinder. Ooh. Wow, that's bad. Do we have a habitat restore? Yes, and they just moved, and it's going to be like 3 times the size. I'm so excited.
Oh my goodness.
Mom doesn't like it as well, but I always find something there.
Well, I got kind of spoiled because in Wichita, we had a recycling center that did cleaning products and paints and everything like that for free. You could just go get it for free. So it's
now
hard
she
for
won't
me
buy it at all because
Yes,
she could have
I
got it for
know.
free 5 years
I
ago.
know. So it's hard for me to get used to buying this stuff. I have to readjust my thinking now. No. If you're in Wichita, be sure to check out the recycling center there
Yeah.
because you get some good deals.
Yep. Okay. Mike's sending me the next batch here real quick. What? Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Sorry. Do you ever go to auctions? Oh my goodness. Let me tell you what happened when I went to an auction once. Oh my goodness.
Before she says this, I used to go, my husband and I went to auctions all the time. It was constant.
Yeah.
I made a whole quilt, hand sewing a whole quilt just by going to auctions with my husband before we were married. That's how much we went.
So I'm not naive to auctions.
Yeah.
But when I was 19 and had just moved out, they had an auction in the little town there. So I went. And they had a box of socks. And I needed some socks, brand new socks. I think I told you this, didn't I, about the
I
socks?
don't know.
So I had just got flats of flowers. So entire flats. We're talking, was it 12 or 24? I can't remember if it was 12 or 24. It doesn't really matter, I guess, but for 50 cents each. And I got like 10 flats of flowers for 50 cents each. And so I was on a roll, I thought. So they had socks. So I started bidding on this box of socks. And there was like 300 pairs of socks in there. I don't know what I was going to do with 300 pairs of socks. Well, I was thinking I would resell them, I guess, is probably what I was thinking at a garage sale. So I was bidding, and it was like $1, okay, $1, $2, $3, okay, $3. Then I realized it was each.
I knew
And you had to take the whole box.
I knew it.
There had to have been 200 pairs of socks in there. I almost bought $1,000 worth of socks, and I didn't even have $20 in my name. Oh my goodness.
I knew that's what you were going to say. That I thought she didn't know that they were each $1 each.
So then later when we were in Idaho, I tried again. And that one went better. But the poor auction guy, Mike and I had no money, and I was pregnant with BJ. And he was like, $1, $1. And nobody was taking it for $1. I said, well, I'll give you 50 cents. He's like, well, can't you just do $1? I said, no, it's worth 50 cents. So this whole list of stuff, do you remember that? You were with me.
Yeah.
There's this whole list of stuff. He's like, let me guess, 50 cents. So, because we had just moved, not too long after that, or before that. And so, anyway, it was, yeah.
My husband and I went to one down the block from our house, and it was a big, huge turn of the century house, and the person had lived there from, I think, the 1800s. This was back in the 70s, and so it was full of antiques and all this stuff. But it was getting to the end of the auction, and I was standing in the kitchen. My husband went on down in the basement. I didn't want to go down the basement. It was kind of creepy, and he went down in the basement, and I was standing in the kitchen. They had 2 auctioneers. Well, the cabinets were piled with stuff, and the auctioneers said, okay, what do you give me for everything that's in the kitchen? And nobody was bidding. They weren't bidding. And so I thought, well, there was a good telephone, and we needed the blue telephone, I think that David has maybe or something.
Oh, was that?
Yeah.
That was from an auction?
Yeah. And so just the telephone alone was worth, a little bit of money at the time, besides everything else on the counters, and there was stuff in the cabinets. And I said, I'll give you $1. And so the guy said, okay, I forget what the number was, $1 for number whatever. At the same time, I heard my number down in the basement. The auctioneer say my number down in the basement. Dad had bought the whole basement, everything that was in the basement. for just a couple of dollars. So at the same time, I bought everything in the kitchen and he bought everything down in the basement. And he got some cool stuff, outfits from the 1800s. And I mean, some really cool things. And we got all that for, I think it was a total of $3 was what we ended up spending. So
Was it Shannon that said
Yeah.
everybody gets socks for Christmas for the next 40 years?
40 years, yeah, 40 years for sure.
Goodness.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. I work from home, Jen says full time. We're always hiring, but we can't keep people. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you can't.
People.
People aren't working
Yeah.
anymore.
Does the gluten-free, dairy-free 35% off right now, guys, have egg-free recipes? No, I'm
No.
sorry, it does not. It does have eggs. It's only gluten-free and dairy-free. Although you can, if you need to not have sugar, you can use Splenda if you want to do that, or whatever you want to use.
Is there something you can substitute for eggs? Just say.
Yeah, you could, for most recipes, you can substitute just your normal substitutes and it should work, but I'm not going to guarantee it. So like, I don't know if it would work for the sandwich bread, but it should work for like the muffins and the quick breads, but I don't know if it would work for the yeast. Are we going to have a Thanksgiving cooking special this year? I don't know. I'll have to see.
If you guys want to see something funny, go see her video on her Thanksgiving.
What, 3 years ago? Connie,
It's good comedy.
she got the cookbooks both for her adult kids and they love them. Yay. 35% off right now.
Yeah,
guys.
they're good Christmas. They're good to give to kids, college age or moving out of the house or weddings too.
Is Upcycle an app? No, it's a Facebook page for our town and it's called Upcycle so that you recycle things without sending them to the dump. Our thrift stores aren't very good here. I mean, they're okay.
Yeah.
You got to kind of hit them all to get good stuff. You can't just go to one like you could at Colorado.
Colorado has really
The best thrift stores
good.
I've ever seen.
Yeah, I've never seen thrift
It's
stores like Colorado.
ridiculous. But Jen says the only items I paid retail for my living room set, dryer, and bed. Everything else is from junking. Yep, pretty
Mhm.
much for us too.
Yeah, we do about the same.
We bought Mike and I's bed is new, but all the boys' beds are used. We got them from a hotel. This couch is new. We did get this couch new. Maybe one other couch new. My washer and dryer new. And then the appliances for the old house were new.
Mm-hmm.
And everything else is used.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying they need a good laugh, so do that.
Do the Thanksgiving.
They
need
Yeah,
a good
if you
laugh
want
for
a good laugh,
Yeah.
you'll be rolling on the floor with that one.
Yeah.
And remember, she's a cookbook author. We're cookbook authors.
Yeah, what is it? Thanksgiving Fire? Can you share the link, Mike? Barbara says, so appreciate you guys. You are changing the world for a lot of us. I'm changing something, that's for sure.
Thank you, Barbara.
And let me tell you, after the washing without electricity video comes
Oh
out,
my goodness.
you're going to appreciate your washer and dryer.
You will love your washer and dryer.
You're going to love your washer. The dryer's not that big of a deal.
No,
The washer.
the washer.
Robin, flannel versus fleece sheets. I mean, I would.
I've
Either.
had both of them, and I like the fleece ones. I have, as some fleece can make you kind of sweaty, maybe. It's the only thing, but mine don't. The fleece ones I have
Yeah.
don't. So if you can get fleece ones that don't, they're a little bit warmer and toastier than flannel. I always use flannel for years and years, and just about 2
Yeah.
winters ago, I got the fleece ones.
Yeah.
And they don't make me sweat or anything.
I think the new fleece ones, they have cool fleece, so that's what I would look for. But the only problem I have with both of them is I get stuck and I can't turn over. And I turn over a lot when I'm sleeping. I mean, because my fibromyalgia hurts. So I'll probably turn over, oh my goodness, 30, 40 times that I know of in the night. I mean, I'm not kidding. I'm constantly turning over. So
she's always
I
done
get
that since
stuck,
she was a baby. I would hold her in my arms and she was flipping and a flopping and a.
Jennifer, I used powdered sugar instead of flour in the gravy.
I did that one time. I did. It was, I kept
Yeah.
saying this isn't thickening. My grandson was there and
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out why it wasn't thickening
My
up.
cup overflows. My dad had a rental and my husband helped him clean it. It was knee deep in trash. Electricity, water had been turned off, but the fridge and toilet were full. My husband was traumatized. I know.
I know.
I'm
awful.
sorry. Have some self-respect. There's
Yeah.
no reason for it. I don't care how bad of a hoarder you are. I don't even care if you're like those people on the TV. You can start every week filling the trash cans. You can if you want to. And how do I know? Oh dear. How do I know? Because when the city would come after my dad,
Not your dad.
or I mean, my grandpa,
I was going to say your dad.
my grandpa, sorry, not my dad, my grandpa, by some miracle, he was able to clean it up to get past the city inspection. But he couldn't keep it that way.
It was bad.
That's a bunch of baloney. It's a bunch of baloney. You just don't want to take responsibility for yourself. Ugh.
It really is an emotional problem, and there's no reason it can't be overcome.
Absolutely. Guys, I come from a hoarding family. I can talk about it.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I know.
She knows.
Don't give me it's a mental illness baloney. They can handle it when it's something that they really like or really want to do, like their doll collection is perfectly lined up. Or their saddles are perfectly lined up.
And just because it is an emotional thing or
No,
even
it's
some
just-
physical things, you can don't use the excuse, I have this so I can't do anything. That's what's happening is people now aren't trying to overcome their situations, overcome their problems. They just sit back and say, well, this is just a problem, and so I got to live with it with the rest of my life. It's like nobody wants to work at overcoming anything, whether it's an emotional problem, a physical problem, or taking care of things.
You can send me the next one, Mike.
So we kind of become real lazy. Really,
It is lazy.
Is what it is. Lazy all the way around, and
it's selfish.
It is, because it hurts other people. It really is. It hurts your family, your kids, your spouse, your friends.
I feel another show coming on. So I think
I
hired.
think we're losing people. We maybe need to go before it gets worse, huh?
Tough. I used at our old house. Send me the next questions, Mike, real quick. But at our old house, we had windows right here with blinds. And one time the blind got a little off, and we had some people with OCD on there, and they were having a cow.
Oh yeah.
So you know what? I started leaving the blinds like that. I'm like, I'm sorry. You may have an OCD, but that gives you no permission to be rude to me. I don't care.
Well, that's it. People don't know. You just don't say anything you feel and want to say. It's manners. It's just being mannerly and nice. Think of the other person more than what you feel like you want to vent or say. Except here you are venting. But it's your show. It's your show too.
No, yeah. And people come to me.
Yeah.
And they
ask these
say,
things.
well, what am I supposed to do about this? Or no, I can't do anything about this. You pretty darn tootin' well can if you want to, but you just are choosing not to.
Yeah.
And listen, I am not trying to be unsympathetic. I understand there are some people that have had children die, spouses die, and it has caused a huge trauma to them. But 5 years later, you have to decide if you're going to heal and get some help to deal with it or not. And you've decided not. It's not that you can't, it's that you've decided not. And it's not that these things aren't awful. And I truly feel for you. I cannot imagine how hard that would be to lose a child or something like that. But you can't just live in filth because you don't want to deal with your pain. You've got to deal with your pain sometime. You have to do it. And that goes for anything. So anyway.
Because everybody has something. Everybody
you're not the
has
only
something.
one.
Different things, but everybody has hurts and hardships and awful things happening to them. All kinds of stuff. There's not a person on this earth that isn't going to go through something or has gone through something. And the ones that make it and succeed and handle it, they're the ones that just pick themselves up. You have to grieve, you have to go through stuff, but then you pick yourself up and you start going on.
Dana says, where do you buy your flannel sheets or your fleece sheets?
Well, my son and his wife happened to give them to me. And what they did was they had went and got flannel throw, like thin flannel blanket or fleece blankets for a bed or a throw. And at Walmart, it was the cheapest Walmart brand fleece. And they had 2 of them that they weren't using, and they gave them to me, and they gave them to me to use for a throw, but I ended up using them for sheets. I have a double bed, so these were queen size throws, and they work perfect on my bed, you know. So that's what I use is just the Walmart cheap brand, which I was so shocked because I didn't know they would. And I've had them now for about 2 or 3 at least 3 winters. So, and they're worn, they've just done really well, and they wash up nice. And
Bigfoot, big what? Is that big-footed chipmunk, maybe?
Bigfoot tech chipmunk. Wait,
Bigfoot tech. Oh, Bigfoot tech chick. No, I have no idea who this person is, but they say, so Tara needs satin sheets, so I can just see it. Tara turns over and slides into Mike. Now, Mike would like that. Mike would be saying, oh, honey, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm just like, get off of me. I'm trying to sleep. Sweet Country Living says, I dumped Kool-Aid packet in the mac and cheese one time. Oh my, how do you do that? How do you dump Kool-Aid and macaroni and cheese?
I don't know. It makes you wonder sometimes how we do these things because it's so funny, some of the stuff.
I don't
That's
know.
good.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Hold on. Annette, my son is a video producer, editor. How can he contact you? Well, he can still contact us, just editor at Living on a Dime, but I've already got 2 people that I'm working with right now. And if they both work out, which it's looking like they probably will, I'm going to go ahead and hire them. But he can go ahead and send it to me, but I think we already have the positions hired. So you guys will probably be seeing more videos. Mom and I keep seeing stuff every day, and we're like, we need to do a video on this. And I'm just going to start doing them and sending them to them and putting them on because I'm like, this is crazy. Rhonda says, we're a riot. I made a chess pie and forgot the sugar. Oh, well, what's funny is the new editor, I sent him, that we're testing. So I sent him a test video, and I didn't even think about it. He's like, did you do an intro for this video? I said, oh, I forgot the intro. The video was so traumatic, I forgot to do the intro.
Welcome to the crew.
Yeah, Mike said, welcome to the crew.
Now somebody can relate.
Yeah, Mike says somebody can relate.
Besides Mike and I, somebody else can relate to Tara's.
But there's an incident with the air compressor. Now, we won't tell you why we're using an air compressor for an off-grid, no electricity washing machine video, but there's an incident with the air compressor. He's like, well, I just about died laughing on that. I was like, what? And then I realized, so he's using that for the intro. But yeah. So,
you guys, when you see this washing video, it's going to be like nothing you've ever.
Tammy said, my husband does a home repair a few years ago. And he got a 7-foot window for my living room for $200. Woo,
wow,
that's good.
Yeah, because windows are really, really expensive now.
So we decided, I think, Saturday, you handsome hunk of burning love, you.
He's not even noticing. He's looking.
I see nothing. I know it's a trap. It's a trap.
Burning love, it's a trap.
It's a trap, he said. You're no Samson, huh, Michael? You're wise to Delilah.
Nobody cutting my hair.
Yeah, I ain't cutting your hair.
You're not letting her cut your hair.
Well, I do think Mike came up with a really good idea that before we remodel the kitchen, to just yank out
Stove.
the ovens and the whole corner.
Oh, why
Like,
not?
Deconstruct half the kitchen and put in a regular oven there, and that might get us through Christmas. Actually, I've gotten to the point I don't even want to cook in my kitchen.
And now I have to admit, her stove is
I'm serious.
horrible. I've never cooked on anything.
have-
It burns if you just even have it on the lowest burner.
I have stockpile flour and stuff that I need to start getting used up because it's going to start going bad if I don't. But I have not wanted to cook at all in this kitchen because it's so awful.
It is hard.
It is. I mean, just trying to cook dinner, I couldn't even cook dinner.
Mm-hmm.
It's driving me nuts. As a matter of fact, I was this close to just yanking out the whole thing myself and doing it. The construction guy said they can't do it till what, January 9th or something. And I was like, I'll just do it myself I'll just let them come in and redo the drywall. Cause I was just the other day, Mike almost saw batter on the walls. Cause I was just, I was awful.
Frustrating.
Okay, let's see. Oh, wow. Joanne got 12 boxes of books for a quarter.
Oh my goodness.
So Mom and I love, here's my book story. It's not that good of a deal. Well, close actually. So, you know, those Christian romances that what Love Inspired, is that what they're called or something? So. And so we like those. They're an easy read. Takes your mind off of life for a few days, but it's nothing sleazy or slimy. Well, my hoarding side of the family, who will be nameless, Uncle Randy.
Uncle Randy.
Okay, all my cousins who are watching this, you can tell him I'm talking about him because he knows we holler at him about his hoarding. But he had a trash can bag. You remember the trash? No, you didn't see it.
Yeah, I did see it.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw
He
it.
had a trash bag. It was a hefty 13-gallon trash bag. And it was stuffed full. How many was there? Probably 300 books in there.
A lot.
300, 350
We read
books.
off of them for at least a year.
At least a year. And we got those for free.
Mm-hmm.
So he thought I was getting smut. I'm like, Uncle Randy, you should have a little bit more faith in me than that. It was not.
One thing, if your library doesn't do this, you can maybe suggest it, but our library here, they have these racks in a little section where people can bring their paperbacks in and put them on the racks, and then other people can come and just take them for free and keep them if they want. And you know, it's kind of like those boxes they put out on the streets now, where you can take a book and put a book in. Yeah. But they do at the library with racks, and I get almost all my books now there for nothing.
Virginia says my brother bought a log cabin for $1 when he was 15 and sold it for rooms for camps. I'm not quite sure how. Oh, he must have chopped it up or something, huh?
Wow, $1 for an auction, probably.
Sweet Country says she always remembers the fire
for my Thanksgiving video.
Sharon says when I started my pantry in the basement, I needed shelves. I bought one set, but picked up 4 sets from the side of the road during a large item pickup. Yeah, dump day is the best. Oh, you stand at the side of the dump and see what they have, bringing it in the trucks and say, "Can I have that?" Seriously, though.
I know.
Wait. Did we miss dump day?
No idea.
I think it's Saturday. I think dump day is.
We should do the stove. Mike has an excuse not to do the stove then.
We should do that. We should go for dump day and see if people would give us their stuff. I bet they would.
We have to stand outside the dump because the dump says no picking, but we can stand out there with the sign and divert them.
Let you pick.
Yeah.
Well, there's a hotel in the corner. We could stand in the parking lot and divert them.
Well, in Wichita, I would go up and down the block, and they'd set the stuff out on the curb, for dump day and stuff. And I'd go on the blocks and just pick stuff up.
Teresa says, is this the house you bought when you moved to Wyoming, or did you buy a different one? My life has been crazy last 7 weeks. My house flooded. Oh, I'm so sorry. So yes, this is the house, but we built the studio like 6 months ago or something. And so we're in the studio now. We're not in the house because our house is not really conducive to filming very, very much. All right. Margaret says it's called being lazy, in my opinion, when they don't clean and throw trash on the floor and all over the place. I can handle not being able to thoroughly clean.
Yeah.
I get some people who were never taught how to do that. I understand that. Trash?
Yeah, that's what.
Zero patience for.
Yeah, that's everybody knows to take trash out.
There's no reason for 15 pizza boxes to be piled up in the living room.
And even as far as not being taught to clean, my grandkids, well, my kids too, when they were little, they'd have these little broom things, or even the big broom.
Mm-hmm.
If they dumped something on the floor, they just, at 3 years old, they knew to go get the broom and sweep up the mess, you know. So it doesn't take rocket scientists to figure out how to clean the floor a little bit and stuff. So
yeah. Let's see. Anyone worried about November 8th, or do we just carry on being ourselves? Nope, you just carry on being yourselves. There's nothing you can do about it. You go vote. You've done your best. If they're cheating, what are you supposed to do? Nothing. I mean, the Bible says that God puts the rulers in place, in their position. He puts the kings and the governors in position. I can't think of the verse, but God already knew the people we would have in office right now.
you do your part and then let God take care of the rest of it.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing you can do. And quite frankly, I think that God is just setting it up for the end of time.
I was just going to say
and allowing it to happen.
All these leaders, he's just stepping back and withdrawing his blessing and allowing it to go ahead and get ready for the end times. He's just saying, okay, that's it. We're going to get finished here.
I think we're just facing the consequences of our actions. To be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
You know, you can't act the way we act. You can't approve of the things that we approve. You can't kill the people that we're killing.
You can't.
And not have consequences.
Yeah.
There are consequences to sin. And even innocent people are caught in those consequences sometimes. Yeah. Unfortunately.
You were referring to Romans 13:1.
Romans 13:1. Thank you, dear.
And you know, everybody, whether you're a Christian or not, you know, you have a sense of justice, of right and wrong. And when we're just doing so much wrong now, so we're going to have justice. And the consequences that's going to happen with that. And like Tara said, innocent people get caught in that.
The House of Many Colors was our house in Kansas. It was in Wichita, but we lived on Topeka Street.
Yeah.
So that's why sometimes you hear us say Topeka. We're referring to the Topeka house, but we lived in Wichita, Kansas. So let's see. People overall have become impolite and lazy. Oh, don't get me started on that. Let's see.
People don't care if they hurt other people's feelings, is what it boils down to, you know.
Sharon says she has one picture in her house, purposely hung crooked just to see who she irritates.
That's good. Just to see who she can irritate. I love that.
We're helping with OCD. We're helping with COD. Well, okay, so here's the thing. Oh, yeah, Mike says I have to say the books.
Oh, the books.
35% off right now, guys. Dining on a Dime cookbook, livingonadime.com, 35% off.
We get carried away talking to you guys, and we're not.
Yes, it says 25, but it's actually 35% off. We got locked out of our own website, so Mike could not get it changed. Let's see. Let's see. Harlequin heartwarming isn't Christian, but it's clean. Yeah. We only read the clean ones. And I think we do read those ones.
I haven't heard of those, I don't think.
No, yeah, I think we have. Yeah, I think we have.
I've not seen.
Virginia says our library has a couple of sales a couple of times a year. So one year, remember in Andover?
Yeah.
Oh, so we went at the end of the sale
to the library.
And Mom likes the old 1960s. Well, I like them too. The old 60s and 70s before they got nasty Harlequins.
Yeah.
And we hit the jackpot. Oh my goodness. What did we get? 20 sacks of the grocery sacks?
I forget. It was a ton because nobody wanted the old books.
They were sitting under a table and we happened to see them wrapped. They were wrapped in Walmart sacks, grocery sacks. And I happened to see them under the table and we bought one and brought it home just to see what was in it. And well, I mean, we kind of looked on top,
Mhm.
but we didn't dig through it, and it was quarter. So we bought it, and the couple on top, we were like, okay, yeah, we can use this. Well, they were all really good books by authors that we like. And so I went back and got like the rest of everything they had. And I got all these books for a quarter for a full grocery sack
Mhm.
full.
And our books get used
Yeah.
because I read them, Tara
Yeah.
reads them, my mom reads them, so we pass them around. They get really well used for even getting them for that
Yeah.
cheap too.
Yeah. Barbara says, regular oven stopped working, but I have a convection oven to use. Do I have to change up the ingredients? No, it should be just fine.
No.
It's just, it bakes by hot air flowing around the food instead of just coming up from the bottom. So it bakes it more evenly, supposedly. I don't know that I've noticed a big difference, but the other thing is, you don't have problems burning food as much, like with glass pans. Like with glass
mine
pans.
took a little bit longer to get brown.
Yeah, it does take longer to get brown.
It takes longer to get brown. That's all it does. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right for that. And let's see. Oh, Barbara says Dining on a Dime is in her library. Wow. Wow.
But
wow,
one time I thought we had libraries ordering it from it. Didn't we have libraries?
We used to ship it a lot.
Yeah, we used to ship them to the libraries until they got to be a pain in the rear, and then we didn't do it anymore. Let's see. Yeah, God's taken the blessings off America because of the things we voted in, Denise says, and Brown Eye says we have thumbed our nose at the Lord for so long. Yes, I mean, I think that's perfectly true.
Mm-hmm.
Jen says wow, and you went at a good time of the year. Jen says, was in Wichita this weekend. It was painful. Wichita is painful. Sorry, all the Wichitans.
We love you, Wichitans, anyway.
We've got
The
2
people
years
are
of
nice.
fall, 2 years of spring, and that's it.
2 days, you mean?
Yeah.
Not 2
Yeah, 2 days.
2 days.
Well, I said 2 weeks, but yeah, 2 days.
2 days is about it feels like.
Yeah.
You just you're boiling hot one day and you wake up next day and it's cold.
Brown Eye says the Amish love stories are good, especially when you get the series. So here's my problem with the Amish love story.
We've read a whole bunch of them.
I've read a lot of them,
We've
and I
read.
like them. But I've noticed after you read about 10 or 12 of them, they're all the same.
They start, yeah.
And that is a problem with those kinds of books.
Although I did find a new section at the library that has a different one on, it's called Amish Inn, I think. I haven't read them yet.
Is
So
it different?
it looks like it's going to be different. So.
It's hard finding books that actually have a truly different storyline.
Well,
we need to start making a list of books and putting them on there for people that are actually good that we like.
Yeah. What happens is it's like somebody writes a really good book and it becomes popular. And so all the other authors are trying to copy and do the same thing instead of coming up with more original type things on any level, you know, mysteries or anything like that.
True Joy wants to know what's the difference between the 20th anniversary and this one. So this one has everything in the 20th anniversary book, but 20th anniversary does not have everything in here. We added 40 more recipes when we wrote this edition, just for a reference.
40 more recipes in this one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My library has a coffee shop that sells old library books. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Jen says we used to get potatoes and onions and bell peppers by the 100 pounds. Oh my goodness. Oh, in Weld County, Colorado. Oh, at the dump. Yeah. So the farmers would have to dump stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually kind of sickening how much food the farmers have to dump. I know. It's actually kind of bad.
Sad,
Okay. So let's see. Deborah says, I have volume 1 and it is by far my favorite cookbook on the shelf. We have more people say that. Yeah, 40 more recipes in this one. 40 more recipes in this one.
That was the highest compliment when we first writing the book that we ever got was people would have huge collections of cookbooks and they said they always used ours. And I always thought that was the sweetest compliment, you know, that we got.
Marlene says, have you heard of Cuddle Dud products? They are sold at Kohl's. The flannel sheets are fantastic. Plus they have flannel comforters. I have not. I've got a
couple of Cuddle Dud tops. They are nice. Yeah.
Robin says, keep the fun to a decent hour, hun. I'm too tired for hanky panky. Yeah, 1 o'clock in the morning. Oh my goodness. Sorry. I love you, dear, but
Not
I'm
that
tired.
much.
What did I miss?
I always think, did anybody see that?
Oh
I'm
no.
sorry. Did anybody see that Oprah show where the lady swears she got pregnant 3 times and didn't know it
No.
because her husband was doing things in the middle of the night while she was sleeping? Now, how in the world can you sleep through that? I mean, maybe if you've got drugged, and they swear that he didn't drug her or anything. After that, I stopped watching Oprah. That was when Oprah went downhill.
You never know what we're going to talk about on this show. I thought we were a cooking show.
Yeah, sorry. Farmers must know that the families are starting. It's not that. It's that they have so much they can't distribute it to people.
It's hard for them to get it.
So
It's really sad that there's no way to do it.
Linda,
but-
what books do you read? Authors, not authors. Authors, Grace Livingston Hill, S.C. Summers.
S.C. Summers,
Betty
the old
Mills.
ones.
The Love Inspired we like, and the heartwarming ones we do. We do read those ones. The Christian, Christian books.
What we should do is I look at the publishers too, because there's certain Christian publishing houses and they always do really good ones. So I think it's Revelry or something like that. And Bethany maybe.
Yeah.
Those are, if you see that's the publishing house of these books, then they usually do pretty good ones.
Yeah.
So.
Ellie.
Oh, Ellie.
Did you get a present today in the mail? You should have. I hope you got it.
Hi, my love. I love you. Mwah.
Kisses from Mom. My daughter's like, Mother, I'm 20, however old she is. I don't know how old you are. I'm sorry. I'm 20, whatever, Mother. Seriously. Are you sure that wasn't the tablet? No, it was on Oprah. I saw it on Oprah and I stopped watching Oprah after that lady. I was like, Oprah, you have just gone down the hill. Cheryl's viewing from Wichita. We are sorry, Cheryl.
Oh, Cheryl.
Actually, here's the thing.
We love.
It's nice.
We love the people.
The people are really nice. It's super easy to get around.
It's a perfect size city.
The weather stinks.
It's just the weather we couldn't handle.
The weather
with us
stinks.
being sick too.
Yes, the weather stinks. Well, even if you're not sick, the weather stinks. We
in case you don't know, half of our family's in Wichita, so
yes. Okay, I got it reported, dear. Or not. I thought I did.
Oh, sorry.
Ellie, oops, I'll check. She didn't check the mail. She has a present waiting for her in the mail. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Ellie, did you like my new shoes that I showed you? I got the cutest little shoes at the thrift store. Oh, I sent her a picture. That's why I was wondering.
Okay. So no, I am not worried about November 11th. Guys, there ain't squat you can do about it. You can go vote and encourage everyone to vote. But, you know, my husband doesn't allow women to vote, so I don't have anything to say about that. I'm only kidding. I'm just trying to rile those feminists all up. So
poor Mike.
Colleen says she loves watching you fly. She must have followed you. Are you posting on YouTube again?
Ellie does paramotoring for you guys that don't know. And she sends us pictures of her floating up in the sky.
Much to her mother's chagrin.
It's really kind of fun too, because she can fly over where my mom lives. And so she'll fly over and wave at my mom, who's 94. And my mom gets the biggest kick out of seeing Ellie fly over and wave at her.
Are we seeing food shortages here? Things are still looking good in Indiana. Actually, on Saturday, that's the video that's coming out. So look for that one. I just edited it today. Mom and I will do a book list. We will do a book list and get some books on there for you guys. Because I know, and movies. Oh my goodness, between books and movies, you're just like, seriously.
It's hard to find good ones. So we understand where you're coming from, Lawton.
Yeah, so I totally get it. But, you know, what are you supposed to do? So
now, one thing I do with books is I can tell with the first 2-3 pages tops if a book is going to be okay to read, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty fussy. I don't like a whole lot of cussing.
Nothing inappropriate.
I don't like all
if you're afraid to show it to your grandma, you shouldn't be reading it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or your mom. Well, I don't know, some people's mothers. But your grandma. Let's say if you're ashamed to show it to your grandma or your great grandma. And Crazy Cat says, I don't read much anymore. I just watched Living on a Dime on YouTube. Oh,
thank you.
I don't know whether that's to feel good for them or sorry for them. And then let's see. I don't need a new house. I just need to declutter or some of us don't need a new house. Just need to declutter the one we have. Yeah. And I'm always decluttering. People see these videos. What happens is they see the video of us bringing all the stuff in.
They don't see everything.
They don't
we
see
send
me
out.
taking the load.
Yeah, we need to show them all the stuff that you take out. She gives a lot of stuff away. You know, she'll ask me, do you need this or that or whatever? And so, or the kids come and visit. And
yeah. Oh, so, oops, where'd it go? Did she take it off? Oh, surely she didn't take it off.
Which one?
Somebody just said that they have the book and they absolutely, where'd it go? And they absolutely love it. Thank you. I cannot find the post, but thank you anyway.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Kathy says, I read the very last few pages to see how the book will end. If I don't like the ending, I don't read the book. Me too. Yeah, me too. I'm sorry. I want to know if it's going to be a happy ending. If it's depressing, I ain't reading it.
Yeah.
I do not read books to get depressed. Like what Beverly somebody or another, she's a Christian author. Beverly Lewis. She's had a couple of books that are okay, but most of them are depressing. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, I have to be careful because even some of the Christian books, I said, they start out with the soldiers coming home from war and is having nightmares and is missing a couple of limbs. And he meets the widow whose husband and child die in a car wreck. And she's living in this town where nobody wants to have anything to, and it's just like, that's within the first page. And I'm thinking, I'm not sure this would just depress me. I'm like Tara, I have to be careful of reading stuff like that. I want it to be Cinderella. Well, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think.
Here's the thing: if it has
I have
happy
enough
ending,
of that in my life.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If it has an happy ending, maybe it might be okay. But the thing is, that's our life.
So I use it as escape. I just admit I use my books as an escape and to relax, and that's what I
don't want to be hearing about everybody else's problems.
Yeah.
When I'm reading a book.
Because we get a lot of that just on a daily basis. You know, we deal with a lot of problems and a lot of things like that. So.
Yeah. Paula says, when I moved, I donated all my other cookbooks and only kept ours. I got my mother's worth and everyone compliments me how nice it looks. I love your cookbooks. Thank you.
You know what? I love the name Paula. Yep. I have had like 3 friends, best friends, and their names have been Paula. Yep. Isn't that weird? I have really good friends that are Kathy or Paula. Yep.
You have, haven't you?
I have.
You had 3 Kathys.
I know.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
And I don't do it on purpose. It's just for some reason I've had Kathys and Paulas.
35% off right now, guys. Livingonadime.com. 35% off sale is what we're having. And I know the website says 25% off. We got locked out of our website and couldn't change it, but in the store, it's 35% off. For sure, the store is hosted on a different thing. Paula says, if the man has long flowing hair and a shirt unbuttoned to his navel, it's a no-go. Yeah,
for sure.
Let me tell you, I know that's not real life.
You know that's not real life.
Yeah, because you got the good stuff over here, woman.
I think she's got the good stuff over there.
Dude,
this show is just really good.
Oh, she's blushing.
Look at that hunk of burning love. It might be slightly tarnished armor.
Your mother just laughed hysterically.
Kim says she loves all our tips and recipes and gluten-free, dairy-free.
Cook for your hunk of burning love there out of the cookbooks.
Oh my goodness, I got a headache now. Oh. Does the Wichita Library have copies of your books? Probably not.
I think they had
I
the
don't
old ones
know.
at least in there. I think I
don't
saw.
know.
I think we took them in. Yeah, we took them
Yeah.
into the main library, whether they still have them or not.
Yeah. Read the Elm Creek series. Grandma Peach just said, interesting.
I've heard that. I'm hesitating because I think I've heard that before.
Now I'm just sick. Somebody said it was Mitford something or another.
Oh, yes.
And I had those and I got rid of them because I never got to reading them, and I got rid of them when we moved. So now I need to go to the library and look at them again. Or did you read them? Or did you just hear people saying them?
No, I think I got maybe even have a couple of copies of it if it's one I'm thinking of.
Oh. Yeah, Crazy Cat, I'm with you. I want entertainment. I don't want anything that's too realistic. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, and you know what drives me nuts? I just read it again yesterday. I like the old Western or old timey, Western ones.
Like set in the 1800 books as romances.
Her hands were so chafed from the strong lye soap that were burning her hands as she was doing the laundry.
I must have read that same one too, because I thought I never had that happen.
If you're going to write a historical romance, at least get your facts right.
I mean,
my goodness.
People are buying it now because it helps their skin. It's so good on their skin. And yet in these books, it's like they're
every old time book that they're doing laundry, the lye soap is burning their hands. Every book. Lye soap does not burn your hands. It's the hot water and having your hands in hot water for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Drives me nuts. And let's see. So you said in one of your videos, let me see real quick, that you're doing gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free. Are those recipes in your books? Yeah, I mean, I just cook all my regular recipes. I just don't eat a lot of sweets. Actually, today I had some apple crisp. Not cobbler. Why did I call it that? I never call it that. I had some apple crisp today, and that's the first sugar I've had for a while. But I am pretty much sugar-free on everything. I was just desperate for some food, and I need to eat before the show, so that's probably why I'm having issues right now. Kathy, Catherine says, just call Mike eye candy.
Eye candy.
Denise says we're going to have to block Tara off her own video for explicit content. Let me see if I can hoist them up, dear. Here. Okay, dear, we're taking out the oven this week.
Don't hurt your arm again.
You
go to the doctor and yes, how did you hurt your arm? How can you explain that one when you hurt your arm?
I was hoisting up my boobs to blackmail my husband to pull out the stove. Mitford series, as everybody's saying.
Oh.
Mitford. Okay, I'll have to go look at that one. Maybe the library. I haven't even been. Well, Mom took me inside the door, but I haven't been to the library.
She hasn't been to this library, and I love the library here.
Yeah.
I meet Mike there all the time at the library.
Yeah. I remember Charles Ingalls, Lisa says, telling Carolyn not to let the lye burn her eyes when she was over the fire outside. I know. The reason why the lye is strong now is because it's so concentrated. But back then, you had to boil it for hours to be that concentrated. Yeah. So anyway.
Well, that's the way I read one from the 1800s where the gal, she had like 5 kids or something like this. And she took a bath every single morning. She'd pull the big metal tub thing out and fill it with water and take a bath every morning. I thought, no way.
Did you see that Sandra asked if we had a churro recipe in the cookbook?
No, we don't have a churro recipe, Sandra. That's funny. Mike and I were just in California, and was that your first churro?
Yeah, well, it was the first good churro. We were on the Santa Monica Pier.
He's ever had, and we got it only because we remembered Sean on Spike.
Yeah, we were at the Santa Monica Pier and got it there, and I was like, "Oh, that is so delicious! I want another one for dinner."
We're at the Santa Monica Pier. I didn't taste it, but he said it was really good. So
it was amazing.
Yeah. So the red muffin pan behind Jill looks like a Lego.
It does.
You got a Lego in your head. Mike, could you Pamela wants to know if Mike will wear a long flowing shirt to the game for my next book for the next cookbook called Eye Candy.
It'll be a bestseller for sure. You know what? Going to the long hair, the long flowing hair would be a big change, wouldn't it?
What's hilarious is our oldest son has not cut his hair since COVID. That's what he's got right now. Actually, so does Dave. Both Dave and BJ have not cut their hair since COVID.
They couldn't get a cut during
Maybe
COVID.
we
and they
need to
just
tell them
kept-
to be book models. No. Oh my goodness. So anyway, all right. So these guys, 35% off everything gluten-free, dairy-free, volume 1, volume 2, 35% off livingonadime.com. And any products we used in the show, the links are in the description, so you can click on those at Amazon. We're not saying you have to buy them. We're just saying this is what we have if you're looking for it. But it does support our channel because they are affiliate links. And so we get a commission from the things you buy off of our Amazon links.
And I know I keep saying this, but we have so many recipes in there that if you're starting to have shortages on stuff, you maybe can find it, like dressings, and seasoning salts and sweetened condensed milk and all these different things that you can make. We have them in the book there. If it's really, I never dreamed that in the future we'd be saying that about our cookbooks, that'd be good, a good thing for them.
So thank you, Catherine, for those book suggestions. And Robin says we need to change the name of the show to Eye Candy.
You were wondering how to get millions of views. There you go. That would be great.
Getting rid of people.
Oops, you're deleted. What? Or you got muted so they couldn't hear you tell me.
I just said that would be great.
Oh my goodness. All right, guys, livingonadime.com. We will see you guys next time. Mike is putting the links in there right now while we finish up so you can get everything on sale. And our free Bibles. If you need a Bible, we have free Bibles. If you can't afford one, $9.50, which is just the price of the Bible and the shipping. If you can't afford it, people have asked to buy them. That's why we put that on there. And you can get it for free, though. Just put in the coupon code. And everyone says, thank you. Oh, yeah. By the way, this is the massager that I ordered while online. Everybody was asking me for it. Now, mine doesn't sound right because it's dying. But, well, actually, it's not too bad. But that's what it is. And then I saw
a commercial for that the other night.
Go like that. Now,
it does hurt, but it's worth it.
Yeah, these ones you have to be careful. You can't hold it for more than 20 seconds on a particular spot or it will bruise you. So you have to be careful. But if you want to get the knots out, last week I told you guys that my plantar fasciitis is coming back. 1 week of using this on my calves and foot and my plantar fasciitis is gone again. So it does work. So anyway.
And thank you for your stuff, guys, too, for the gnome stuff and everything.
Yeah.
Thanks.
See what Sandra said?
Sandra, let's see. Let me check what Sandra said real quick on Facebook or YouTube.
She's on Facebook, but
She's on Facebook. Hold on. Sandra on Facebook.
No, look at the statement before it.
Oh, the statement before it. Billowy. So her spell check must have done something.
She says you need a big fan for his long hair and biology shirt, billowy shirt.
We need a big fan for Mike's long hair and a billowy shirt. Oh my goodness. I would be scarred for life.
You'd be scarred for life. You'd never be able to get that image out of your mind. Oh.
Some things you just can't get out of your head. All right. So everyone's happy to see you too, dear. They missed you. All right, guys, living on a dime.
At least it did come.
Oh, Ellie got what did you think? Ellie liked my present. All right, guys. Goodbye, Ellie.
Bye-bye, Ellie.
We love you,
Love
my
you.
daughter.
Bye,
And
guys.
goodbye,
Love you,
everyone.
Ellie.
Livingonadime.com.
Meanwhile, Mike's gonna wait and stop it.